That should do it.
Yeah, I think we're live. We're here.
Send a message. Hold up. It's for 100+ people. Are you sure? Yes. Yes, I am. Oh, hello, everybody.
Hi. I'm just making a note over to the people at Chilling Wargamers and quick saying a couple of things up on.
Our own personal Discord for
Yeah.
our friends who have not hit that bell to get notifications for when we actually start doing this stuff.
Because quarantine. Oh my God, stuff to do. So, yeah. So,
yeah, Plague Child's out of figure, so
hopefully we'll be
they're
getting.
playing Dragon Age.
Yeah, we're hopefully gonna get the Plague Child some more
Figures.
real soon.
Yep.
And other than that, I'm building Tau. Beep boop. I'm so cute. I like the Tau.
Yeah, he's been on this beep boop. I'm so cute. Hey Dave.
Where'd Mrs. go?
I think he may have left them in the bedroom.
Oh my God, Will, can you grab my glasses? I can't see anything. Never mind, I got a pair here. All right.
Live on a Sunday. Yes, live on a Sunday. Because one, I didn't work today.
And
because they cut my hours all to hell.
And I'm working on a video.
Jam Jar!
Hey, Jam Jar, good to see you, buddy. Belly, 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 belly.
See my belly, man.
Yeah, one. I have a video that's mostly done. I just have to get the editing done for it. Where I'm doing a build of my shock jump dragster. So I'm going over the build of how that thing goes. It's got some issues though. I just haven't gotten through. I don't like these clear bases. I'm gonna probably just prime them black because I don't like the way they look.
Hi, Phoenix.
So yeah, we're just kind of going live and hanging out with friends and building. Today is Build Sunday. So
when did it become Build Sunday?
Just now. Today is Build Sunday. And I can show it's Build Sunday because somebody has been busy building.
Oh, somebody's also kind of busy. Hello, Mythos.
Hey, Mythos, what's up, my brother? What is up? Hey, you'll appreciate this, Mythos. I'm building Tau.
They're so cute. I told him to paint them like Tron.
Look!
Except white and blue.
Beep boop. I'm so cute. I'm a little robot of death.
They're quite cute. I'm just trying to get my hair out of my face.
Yeah, so I am actually working on an idea for a paint scheme. The Tron idea actually isn't. Ooh, very nice.
Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a really great Seraphim build recently where somebody converted a bunch of Jackal bikes and put sisters on them to make their own Seraphim, which I thought was pretty cool. Because they
just left the chat.
Fine. No, I've got a box for Kill Team. So I'm building a group for Kill Team. So I just have a Kill Team. And I'm going to paint them up like Tron. So I think I'm going to paint them up in a base of black and then do them all.
Just left the country. What country are you going to that isn't already got its borders closed?
I'm not going to say anything because that'd be racist. So I'm just going to.
Those are closed.
Well, I mean.
Canada. Oh, I thought Canada's border closed their border. I thought so too.
No, they're not. Canada. Canada. So Canada. No, wait, this isn't Akira. So yeah, I am building Tau. I've got a group of 5 standard fire warriors, and now I'm building the other half of the box as a set of breachers. And Lady Dragon, when she's not eating her cookie, has been awesome. She was in a lot of pain yesterday, so she was kind of confined to bed. So while she was confined to bed, I brought her hobby materials. And she has built...
It's kind of hard to show.
The entirety of the Soul Wars box between last night and part of this morning. So she's got the entire Soul Wars box built, and now she's working on a few other pieces that she's bought to supplement her army because she wants to get her Night Hunt army #completed.
And we all know how well I paint, how fast I paint, so that might be a pipe dream.
Well, I don't know. You paint your
Okay, pace. Cool.
you paint your guys pretty quickly when it comes to those guys specifically. So we figured as long as we're here, just going to be sitting at the bench hanging out, and I didn't finish my video of my build, I figured with her encouragement that we should pop on, say hi to our beautiful people, and field some questions. What are you doing?
I'm standing over my shoulder. You know it's a pet peeve. I have a huge pet peeve with people standing over my shoulder or looming over me. I don't know what it is. I cannot handle it. And I feel sorry for my beloved child because, you know, they want to be here, but they try and squeeze them like this, so they're looming over me, and I'm like, I didn't know those were quarantine snacks.
Do you need all the quarantine snacks today? No. See, here's the thing. We live in Wisconsin. We're actually not under real quarantine. We're under semi-quarantine, which basically means the schools are closed, and most people are doing the work from home thing where they can. I, as an IT worker, have the ability to work from home, but as I'm a sucker and a glutton for punishment, I'm one of the few people that volunteered to go into my office to help them out. So I have actually less exposure there than I do anywhere else because
Hello?
I'm in a building that's massive and it's empty. On my floor, which normally sits about 100 people, there's me and the one other guy. That's it. I think there's 2 other people on the other end. I think one of the networking people is there and one of the telecom people are there. And I think it's the 4 of us in the entirety of the building, or at least our entire floor. The nice thing about it is our company, because I work for an awesome, awesome company, they're so nice about it. They're like, you know what? You guys are coming in. They've been buying us lunch. They've been paying for lunch every day.
I have been very appreciative of this.
So that's been very cool. You know, I'm looking at these because these arms have to pair up in specific orders. I might not end up clipping these out of these sprues. I actually may just keep them on the sprues so I can keep them together. Although I'm not going to use them on these dudes. Yeah, no, I won't. Just get to clip them later. I don't know. The problem I still have with the Tau as a model builder, they are also very similar. It's really the differences they have between them are very minor. Now I know what to look for. Thank you, Commodore. He was very gracious in actually showing me. He was very helpful in showing me how to tell the different pieces apart. And you know, like this is a plasma carbine, and this is their main gun. I don't even know what their guns are all called. I just know for Kill Team what I want. I want 5 breachers with the plasma shotguns or whatever it is they use, and then I wanted 5 guys with their regular long arm rifles. And then I have a missile launcher, and it gave me an option to have a 3 missile launcher and a 6 missile launcher. And I'm of the opinion that when you can have 6, why only have 3? So I don't know if there's a difference between the 3 rack and the 6 rack. I'm going to assume there is, but I don't know. And for the drones, I got a shield drone because I know shield drones are good.
Okay, top 3.
And then I know for the breacher team.
No.
Here, Ray, you can have a couple of mine. 2. But those are good cookies. Good. I got a defense drone. I got a defense drone, which specifically with the breachers gives them a 6-up invul save. So I like invul saves. You're building him with the lantern option, right?
Yes.
So she can work on her OSL. Ooh. Spooky, spooky.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
over here and do this.
yeah. I mean, you can move the stuff up the middle and you can get closer. I don't mind. I don't mind. You can get close.
So many bases.
Yeah, I know. We got to put them back in the bases. We have a case that we just keep bases in because we always have all these extras.
We tend to lose them pretty easy. So yeah, I personally am just putting together the rest of my night haunt. That way I can not worry about this and start preparing to build my display board for Armies on Parade.
Just popping on to say hi. Boyfriend and lovers are spending the time together. Let's see here. Just sold your 3-color challenge video. I wasn't on my computer all yesterday. I got to go through. I probably got like 20 or 30 notifications of all the new videos that I popped up in last day. Am I supposed
to do one of those?
You're supposed to do once it's done being painted.
Oh.
Yes, we need to do a little video just going, hey, this is what I did, blah, 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 and this little explain like what I did for mine. You don't have to go into, you don't have to make a gigantic 18-hour-long super cut video or anything, but.
Yeah, because that would work with me. Y'all have seen the 2 videos that I put up. Yay!
Hey! Thank you. Thank you for popping by, Silly More Gamers. Yeah, I said something. I hope that's okay. I said something in the self-promotion channel. Because you guys are awesome. I spend a lot of time in there. So I appreciate it, Spud. I just gotta say, I really, really, since we're talking live and our live chat is always about what the heck's going on at the moment, I gotta say, I really like how active and how busy and how multi-topicked the Chilling Network Discord is. I literally, though, had to turn off notifications because I'm sitting here trying to do something and my computer keeps going beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And that's just a normal chat, which is great. I mean, that's awesome. I had kept it up for beeping for mine because I only have a couple channels in my Discord, so I like to know when things are going on. But it's like, it's like I hear the beep, oh, somebody's talking to me there. But at your guys, it's just like, oh shoot, and you've got a lot of different things going on, which is really, really cool. I mean, it's really awesome. It's really great to see active communities, and I think I sent in an application. I think I talked about this, but I guess I talk about it all the time on the channel. I'm a community kind of guy. That is my mindset. That is my whole thing. One of the reasons I love my local area is because the people in my local area, the people in my local area, the gamers, we really do kind of see each other as a community. We kind of look after each other. And we've got some pro painters in our group that are amazing painters, but are also very open and free about, hey, this is what you do, blah, 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 and really giving out tips and tricks on how to do certain things. There's one of them locally, I talk about him all the time, Jason. Jason is an amazing painter, and he's the guy that's given me a lot of confidence in using my airbrush. He got me from, I'm kind of scared of using this thing, to, here you go, I'm gonna paint an army, and going nuts with it.
Kaiju!
Hey, what's up, Kaiju?
And to throw that back out there, Dave, how you said you picked up the gauntlet and you dropped it. Well, I then picked it up and threw the damn thing out.
You know, that brush is still sitting behind the bench.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm still irritated.
I got to pull everything out from here anyhow. I've got such a mess. I've been building so much orc stuff lately. I mean, I've got those bikes. I've got a box of just the orc stuff that I have painted and started. I got these guys based up using that that color shifting paint. And actually, it's kind of neat that you can actually see that color shifting blue. I'm going to go in and do the detail and color the other stuff. But I mean, that color shifting blue to purple, it's hard to describe it, but it looks like
it's shiny.
Somebody was talking. I was talking to Rob, the TMP, and he was talking about wanting to get something like that to do the Everqueen because she's standing on that beetle. Mm-hmm. Imagine using that on the beetle shell.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so you can really get that nice shimmer. I got to tell you, Cinedave, I started off with the master brush. I'm not a fan of this brush, but I got to take when I go finally see my brother once this whole freaking quarantine lifts and everything, because I want to keep away from him for right now, mainly because my brother is older, and I don't want to take a chance. He dropped an F-bomb, automatically blocks me, but I gotta pop those through because I don't really care. It's just an automatic thing. I gotta be careful going around my brother just because he is an older guy, and I don't want to take a chance on getting him sick. Because both he and his wife are not in the greatest of health. But he said to bring it down there and he'll take a look at it, and he's pretty sure he can get it unclogged and working for me again. It's got issues. I've just being a new painter, I kind of jacked it up, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure it was my fault. Mythos at Frost and Fist swears by this brush. This is the brush he mainly uses, and he has no problems with it. If you go on Amazon and you look for the Master Airbrush Kit, it comes with a compressor and a brush, and it's less than $100. I'm now using a Iwata Eclipse, but I'm still using the same Master Paintbrush compressor. It is an amazing compressor. I mean, it's got a nice. Yeah, and that's the thing. Mythos uses it and he loves the Masters. And I'm like, and it may just be because I was new to it and I didn't know everything, and I'm still learning about it. Yeah, that's a shame. Like I said, Amazon has the Master Paintbrush Kit, which has got a paintbrush and the compressor. The compressors go for more than that kit does, and their compressor's really good. It's got a built-in vapor lock. I keep pointing to it because I got it right here on my desk. But it's got a built-in vapor lock with an easy eye that's very easy to use. It's got rubber feet on it, so it's nice and stable. It doesn't vibrate too much. It's not that super loud. I mean, a lot of compressors I've heard are like super loud. Mine isn't that loud. And it only runs. It runs intermittently. It only runs when it needs to build the pressure back up because it's got a tank in the bottom of it. It's a great compressor. I mean, spending less than $100 USD to get a brush and a compressor, the compressor is worth the amount you paid for it. So I honestly I swear by this compressor. It's given me nothing but good results. I'm still kind of on the fence about the Master. Like I said, my brother's going to take a look at it and see what I did to mess it up, and if we can get it working again. Because right now it doesn't work very well. It kind of does it doesn't give a nice spray. It kind of there's points in the trigger where I can get to where it'll give a spurt of paint, but it doesn't really give a nice stream. So I got to figure out what's going on there. I might have bent the tip on the pin too. Honestly, I don't. Again, because I started off, I don't know a ton about it. I might have to replace the needle on both my paintbrushes because I might have damaged them both because I'm an idiot. I mean, I'm new to this whole thing. And when I was still learning about them, I didn't understand everything. And I had watched some videos, but I hadn't watched every video out there. And I've learned more as I've done more. So I really swear by the airbrush now for base coating. I can't do detail work on it. I still love doing the brush. But if I'm throwing on a base coat, being able to get a nice, smooth, fast base coat down on 30 minis in the space of like a half an hour, it's quick. And I mean, you're looking at using it for your night haunt. We're gonna set this thing up, put a pale gray in there, and start off with that, or a white, or whatever you're gonna do. Yeah, Uthran Gray, and start that off on them. So let me see here. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't have a paint booth. I probably should. I do everything right here at the desk. I mean, that's why I have a spare keyboard because my keyboard has got a lot of paint dust on it and glue particulate, and there's a couple pieces of sprue that I think are perma bonded to parts of the keyboard, because this is my workspace. This is where I work. This is where I do what I do, and
I hang out over on the side.
yeah. Her computer is not anywhere on the bench. She keeps that in the bedroom. I mean, if I get something on my screen, I'll just get a fingernail and oh no, there's a scratch on my screen. Oh no, whatever. Yeah.
There's a reason why I have to move. You'll see me sometimes move my head around because I think there's something on my face, and it's actually on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, because
His screen is filthy.
and it's clean. It's just got paint spatter. I mean, my brother even called me out for it one day because I was sitting there. I had taken a bunch of figures out of the super clean bath and was sitting there scrubbing them. And I realized it like a half hour later because I looked up at the second screen, because I got two monitors. I looked up at my second screen, and there's this fine speckling across the second screen. I'm like, that's...
And he works in IT, folks.
This is why everybody who's worried about busting your computer, you gotta really try to bust your computer, or you gotta really abuse it. I keep mine safe and underneath, and I've got it filtered, and I clean it out so it doesn't get bad. But my monitors, I'm like, whatever. It's a monitor.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh
Mike.
my God. Ugh.
Hey, Mike, you want to see what I did? You weren't here for this part.
Yeah, sorry. I was babbling, but that's what we do in the live stream. She built the entire box of Soul Wars. I'm so proud of her because, again, as she's getting more comfortable with the hobby, and this is part of why I like the channel and why I like getting her involved in the channel, because, quick talk about hobby growth. I got back into the hobby after being out for close to 20 years. I got back in February of 2019, and I went from having a D&D and terrain crafting channel to a far more focused on 40K kill team Warcry type channel. And since that time, I've doubled my viewership, probably even more than doubled. I think I was under 200 at that point. In that year, I'm right now real close to 500. At 500, I'm doing a big giveaway.
I thought we were doing that at 400.
I did the one giveaway. I'm going to do the big giveaway at 5. We're so close. We're going to do the big giveaway at 5. So when we get to 500, we're going to do a big giveaway, do the pass it along box for other creators, and do a well, I can tell you, Dave, one of the big things that's helped, honestly, for my channel has been live streams. Doing a weekly live stream where I talk about the hobby and I talk
and having
about
a set of tits.
I'm not that fat. Anyhow, but I mean, it's now you completely. She talked about tits and completely got me off topic here. No, hobby growth. So I got back in February, and in May, after being back for 3 months, and she had been going with me to hobby store and looking at the fun stuff and leaving, and then going to the incoming away. She was there with me one afternoon and finally decided, okay, I want to try and paint something, because she's a gamer. I mean, before she got in this, she was still a gamer. She's a big D&D gamer, tabletop role-playing gamer, big time. But she'd never...
Richard, welcome to the show.
Hey! But she had never really built or painted or much of anything with the crafting end of it. But she's a crafty person. You guys have seen her art. She sewed her wedding dress and the vest I wore for our wedding. I mean, she's a crafty person. So I'm like, let's just get you into some figures. And he was looking at one figure and then looking at a pack of figures, and I just said, screw it. And we got the Storm Strike, the four. Tell the story from your perspective. I don't want to speak for you. I'm not
because
that guy.
You weren't paying attention throughout the entire time. So I was wandering around our local games workshop, and yes, Mike, that freaking sucks. Chilling Wargamers, man, I hope and pray that you don't have to be out of work until September. That would just bite. Yes, I like to derail him. As to who won the speeder challenge, we'll let him talk about that in a minute, Mythos. So I was wandering around our local games workshop, and him and the Kender were there. They were picking up some new stuff and whatnot, and I figured, what the heck? And I'm wandering around, and I'm just kind of looking at things, and I'm thinking, do I want to try this? I've been watching over his shoulder, watching him watch like Miniac and all of those guys, Uncle Adam, and just all those dudes, and them painting these minis. And a lot of the techniques I used on canvas. So there was this thought in the back of my head, like, hey, I could probably do that too. And I was walking around, and I was more drawn towards the Age of Sigmar over the over 40K, because I'm very much more fantasy than sci-fi. That's just what I'm at. But sorry, head fell off. And so I'm looking at them, and I was really liking the way that the Night Haunt were looking, but I also really liked the Stormcast. And he told me I could get a box, one or the other, and I didn't know which one to get. And I'm sitting there, and the manager, amazing gentleman, great friend of ours, came over and was talking to me. And then somebody, I think it might have either been Walter or Ben, I'm not entirely sure, made the suggestion that I get the Soul Strike box because it comes with a little bit of everything, or a little bit of both. So I bought it. And then somebody mentioned BDSM elves to me.
That was 2 weeks later. Okay, now, here's the thing. She was so enthralled with the figures, she doesn't remember who suggested the box. I'm the one who actually suggested the box.
I could have sworn it was somebody else.
No, because you were looking at this easy build and this easy build. And I'm like, why not just get the thing with all 4 easy build kits in it?
I could have sworn somebody was like, if you get this, it has all of them in it.
Yeah, that was me.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
It was.
I'm pretty sure. You know what?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was. It was me.
It's coming from the man who thought he took me to a restaurant, and we've never been. No, well, he's been. I haven't gone.
Which one?
I don't remember which one it was. It was really funny because you were like, "Oh no, we totally went." And so, no, we totally didn't. You took somebody else. That was before me, love. So, but no harm.
It's because I can't picture my life without her. So
I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
So anyhow, so she got into the hobby, and she started off when she was building, and she was being super meticulous. Figures construction, she took an easy to build kit, and it took her, I want to say, she took an easy build kit, and I swear we were sitting there building. I built an entire squad of non-easy to build Marines, and she got one Sigmarite done, and she was like, okay, I think it's done. And I was looking at her like, okay, now here's the next one. And she's like, okay. So when she started off, and she's still really, really good about the construction. I mean, she really pays attention to detail. She's really good at it. I don't want to say otherwise. One of the things I love about my wife is that she has a super great eye for detail. So if I'm trying to figure something out, she'll notice things and point them out to me. So and in a pleasant way. Like if I'm having a hard time trying to figure something out, she'll pick up details. People have talked about how great our chemistry is. The chemistry you guys see here is honestly the same chemistry we have with everything, even non-gaming wise. I mean, she's an absolute nonstop smartass, and I'm a sarcastic bastard. So we get along really well that way outside of the hobby. So, I mean, this is really what our real life is like.
And
so,
my poor parents are like, can you please not do that around the kids? They are picking this up way too, and then they're all teenagers, and it's like, oh, and you're stuck over here in your room. But we're hanging out with you.
Which is why we're doing the live. Which is why we're doing the live stream, so we can be in the internet with you. So, back to what I was saying. She started off being really slow and was really meticulous. And a lot of it was not that she wasn't understanding him. It was all about her confidence in herself. And as she has gotten positive feedback and as she's built things, she's getting faster and better and faster and better. And it's amazing for me to watch because I've watched her art explode over the last 3 months, 6 months.
Who wants to see Hellchild's picture?
Work in progress. Go get it. The feedback she's been getting about her art, it pushes her to do art more. And Mythos, I am so sorry. We have your picture. I completely forgot. We haven't done the conversion on it yet. I'll get it converted and mailed to you today, buddy. I mean, we try. I mean, that's the whole thing. We're not stuck inside, and Amazon can do a lot for us. So, I mean, like, I have an orc box coming later this week. So, yeah, this is a piece she's doing for Hellchild. Custom piece. When she's done, he's going to be getting the original as well. So
I'll have a digital copy of it. But yes. And if anybody likes the axe, it is available for download to have 3D printed.
On Thingiverse.
Was it Thingiverse?
Yep, he actually loaded the thing of Thingiverse. I just got word
Heinrich
about
Botha, who is one of our patrons, actually created a file for it and then posted it so that anybody could scroll up.
I've got it here.
That's not it.
Yeah, it's right here. He literally has it right here.
That's not it.
Okay.
Roll up. Down. There.
Yes.
Cult3D.com.
And I'm showing you, he just put it out on Thingiverse.
I'm pretty sure that's not the same thing.
Okay.
Down.
I'm going to throw a link up. So I'm going to put this right here. So that link is from Heinrich Botha, one of my Patreons, that he saw that axe.
Thought it was so awesome.
That he went and rendered it and put it out there so that it can be downloaded and 3D printed, and you can make it bits for your Space Wolf army. Because, there are lots of really good Space Marine chapters and lots of really good factions.
Every commission I have done thus far has been for a Space Wolf.
And then there's the Space Wolves, which are the best.
I take that back.
There are the Grots. Don't forget the Grots.
I did my Grots.
But here's the thing. I know some people like the Imperial Fists, and I know some people like the Space Agents. I mean, I'm sorry, the White Scars, whatever. They're dudes. Then there's the Space Wolves, and they are the best faction in all of the Imperium. So, and since I promote Space Wolves, everyone comes to Space Wolves. So, they,
Yeah. That is my army.
Here's the thing.
Building.
Vulcan may live, but for us, for the Emperor, Velka Fenrica, Russ lives.
So, for anybody who's curious, that is a one-handed power axe, actually.
Actually, it's not a power axe. It's a frost axe.
No, it was supposed to be a power axe.
Well, it easily looks like a frost axe in the hands of a space wolf.
Yes, I know. Because they all look like that. I did much research trying to find out what these damn things actually looked like. Oh.
So yeah, there's a one-handed axe out there now for people to download and print on your own.
I do not have Gazgul, I'm sorry.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to talk about it. You're going to bring up Gazgul. You're going to make me do it. He is a great model, and I will get him, and I will paint.
This is what I'm creating now, just to get him off of this soapbox.
I know.
He has been on this.
I'm just no. I'm not. No, I'm not in that full space. No, I'm not in that full one. Gazgul.
He went into depression over how shitty this box is.
I am so mad about that box. I am.
I'm
Flames,
done.
like flames. Yes. Well, they will hug the crap out of it. You're breaking my spine. Oh my god! Hang on. You actually pulled on the side of my neck and it popped. Oh, okay. Anyhow, in all seriousness, I was so mad about that box. But that being said, Gazgul is a beautiful model, and when they release it separately in 6 months as its own model, I will be buying that model. But I'll buy it then. And I will spend the time to paint that thing up like an amazing piece for painting competition. I'm never going to put him on the table. He sucks.
My wolf, or my marine, is done, Spud. I did post a picture of him on Instagram. Hopefully within the next couple days I'll have a video up as my response, because I am horrible at that. Yeah, in other news, I'm creating my Craven King.
Yeah.
All hail the false king.
So yeah, I mean that's the thing. So I love orcs. You guys know it. I love my orcs. I will be, after I'm done with my Tau here, I'll be building my custom Boosta Blasta.
This is assuming he stops talking and actually works.
Well, you know, that's the whole thing. That's the joy of a live stream in people's houses during a quarantine. I get to interact with people, and they have to listen to me.
That is actually a true statement.
But yeah, it's just Mythos and I had a long conversation about that freaking box.
Mike says he's just going to eBay for gas because the box sucks.
Yeah, you know, that's the problem. The wolf. There's exactly 2 things in that box that I want. I have an army list put together for my orcs, and eventually I want to get some mega knobs because they're cool, but they're not in my main army list. And before I build a single mega knob in it, it has 2 squads of knobs in it, which I already have. I have one already built, and I have one coming because I knew I was getting a Start Collecting box. Gazgul is going to be 200 plus points for a leader that can't be healed, can't be transported, and doesn't, yeah, if I get into melee with him, he will knock stuff the crap out. But I got to slog him up the field. Meanwhile, I can get a regular lord, and give him a killer claw and give him cunning but lethal, and there's another thing I can give him, and he's an absolute monster with the new rules in the new book. The new book is amazing for the rules. I mean, my gosh, us wolves, wolf players have to be so happy with all the great stratagems that I've seen so far, and orc players got a whole bunch of new stratagems that are really, really good. I'm really pleased. The Psychic Awakening book is amazing. It's great. It's got great stuff for everybody. I mean, we're going to get a stratagem specifically for our Thunderwolves that make our Thunderwolves really dangerous in melee combat, because it's going to make the wolves, the additional attack by the wolves, do multiple damage. They're actually going to be 2 damage a piece attacks now. It's great. It's good. It's wonderful. So I'm really glad about the Psychic Awakening book. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So I was disappointed by the box, but yeah, I can now say I understand why the players that have been long-term players of Eldar and Drukhari were so mad about the Blood of the Phoenix box. I couldn't empathize with them before because the Drukhari player in the house, the Ynnari player in the house,
Still very new, so I didn't have a lot of those figures.
and she looked at the box, was like, I want everything in here. I want every single figure in here. Every single one. Okay, that's awesome. That's a great box set. That's great value for a new player.
Yes.
And that's the way you got to.
Even if I still agree, even if I still think that the pricing of it was a bit on the ridiculous side.
The pricing was high. The flip side is I actually sat down and priced out the figures once they released the actual solo figures.
Uh-huh.
It was still, even if you bought it at the $330 price USD, it was $150 off what you would have paid if you had to buy them all separately. So it was a great value. I mean, it really was a great value. There just was a lot of figures in there that people who play those armies don't want or don't need. She's not a competitive player, so she wants a little bit of everything so she can play whatever she wants. And I think that's awesome. And unfortunately, that is part of the reality of the game. And let's just look at 40K at a whole. There's a lot of units that don't get much play because they're not good and competitive. That's true, but let's be honest. How many of us here are honestly competitive tournament ITC level players? How many of us are actually going to weekly, monthly regionals and playing? I know people that I've been playing for years that are struggling to just get a game or two a month. They just struggle to get a game or two a month in casually with some friends.
Like happiness, really?
Yes, your
Mm-hmm.
internet.
I don't know.
Friend. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
Zane, you did competitive?
People talk about, well,
that doesn't surprise me with the with your inquisitorial army.
Yeah, but you hear people talk about, well, I don't like the unit because it's not competitive. Have you ever played it actually? I mean, I hear about, oh, the Death Guard are terrible. They're so not competitive. Yeah, they may not be competitive, but I kick a lot of ass with them because I'm not playing against competitive players. I'm playing against the people in my community, which are a bunch of casuals. And for casual play, they're a lot of fun to play. For casual play, they're a lot of fun to play. Go ahead and smash that like button. I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The Death Guard aren't competitive. They're not competitive. Okay, but they're so much fun to play, and they're so much fun to paint. And they're so much fun to paint. I mean, God, I love painting the Death Guard. I love just painting it. I like being able to put a unit down on the table and watching the guys I'm playing with kind of go, what the heck is that? Because I know how to do gross. And
to the point that people didn't want to touch them because they thought they were going to get the plague.
Yeah, because I make my stuff look nasty. And I want to do more. I probably have about 4,000 points of Death Guard at this point.
What's going on with that call?
I think
Kender?
Kender's doing stuff. Yeah, I've really got about 4,000 points plus of Death Guard, and I still want to build a lot more. I want to get a couple more rhinos. I want to be able to. I want to build like 4 or 5 more. Well, no, at least 3 more squads of Plague Marines. And since I like running mine in groups of 7, that should tell you something. Yeah, it's optimal to run them in 5s. I like running them in 7s because that's Nurgle's number, so they should be running 7s. Again, yeah, I'm a casual player.
7 become Nurgle's number.
So 7 is Nurgle's called. Nurgle's number is 7. 3 and 7 are his 2 numbers. Yep. All the Chaos Gods have 3 numbers, and Nurgle's are 3 and 7. Which is why if you buy a box of Plague Marines, the actual starter box of Plague Marines, there's 7 Marines in that box. because Nurgle's number is 7. Why? I don't know, but all the chaos gods have 2 numbers.
Hello.
Yes, the plague child here.
This is the reason why I swear, if I get this damn virus, it's going to be because of this one.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like I said, there's a lot of units that people complain about that they're not competitive. Now, it's one thing to not like a unit because it's not competitive, and it's another thing to not like a unit because it doesn't fit in the lore. And here's the thing. I love infiltrators. I love infiltrator troops. They're great. They are really, really great. I love the whole Phobos army. I think the concept behind them and the way they play, they're awesome. They're really not wolf-like. I mean, infiltrators kind of took the place in... They're kind of like the replacement for scouts in regular 40K. They're like Primaris scouts. But they're expensive as crap. And they've got a lot of really cool options. But they're expensive as crap. And I mean, I'm not talking cash-wise. I'm talking points-wise. They are expensive. And they suck at melee as much as any Primaris Marine does. Other than the intercessors, all the standard troops, well, there's only a couple of them. They're pretty meh for melee. And for the wolves, we're all about melee. So what do we got for choices? Well, we could get Reavers, which are an elite choice, and they're pretty okay. They're basically chainswords, so they're okay, but they don't have any choices to get better. So I mean, there's a lot of arguments here and there about what's good or not good for the Marines and not good for the wolves. I can understand not liking an army because of the lore behind them. I do get that. That I'm fully behind. If there's reasons that you as a wolf player don't like the Primaris because they don't fit in the wolfy theme, if it's the look, you can fix the look. Anybody can fix the look with enough extra custom bits. I mean, I've built entire Primaris Smash Captains that you would not know were Primaris because I've got all the extra wolfy bits on them. So it's all about the time you spend on customizing them. But the wolves are specialists in getting in people's faces and punching them to death. And none of the Primaris guys, other than the intercessor captain or the intercessor sergeants, really have that ability. So, what'd you drop?
It's not that. It says that number 4 is supposed to be a skull, but 4 isn't a skull. 4 is the other side of the throne. But 5 and 6 are skulls. So
Let me see. Can I see?
Yeah, go for it. I'm just gonna clean this side of the throne up then, because I'm supposed to add the little skull right here, and then put the other half of his body on there.
So 4's not the skull?
No, 5 and 6 are skulls.
Can I see?
Yeah, this was 4. This is the other side of the throne.
Can I see the other sprue?
Sure.
I understand that. I'm just trying to understand how they screwed up that majorly. I mean, that's a major oopsie.
Well, thankfully, I have a... Intercessors are pretty decent gray hunter replacements if you wolf them up and add a melee on the Sarge.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that's what I did with all mine. I actually have several different groups of intercessors. One I've got specifically with a power sword, one I've got specifically with a chain sword, one I've got with a power fist, and another one I've got with just an open hand, so that when I play casually, I can say he's got a X, and I can put whatever weapon I want on him, depending on what I build. Again, I don't want to belabor the point. I like Primaris. I like the look of the Primaris. I think when you wolf them up, they look really, really cool. I like having the bigger figures to work with. I got big sausage fingers, and as I'm getting older, my eyes are getting harder and harder to see detail. So I'm using bigger and bigger magnifiers.
So it's 6.
I don't mind the bigger Marines. I understand the arguments. Don't get me wrong. I understand the arguments. Because, as I've said before, I started playing Wolves the day the Wolf Codex came out. I bought it the day it came out here in the States. I was at the gaming store and bought it that day. So, and that's what got me to play 40K. So I love the wolves, and I love that they have their flavor, and I understand the argument for the flavor. That being said, with everything that was being said about that stupid box, the fact that they gave us infiltrators just annoys the shiznit out of me. They could have put just about any other unit in there. They could have put any other unit in there. They could have given us a custom new unit. With the coming of the wolves, the elves got 2 new units in plastic. Why didn't we? We got a grand new Bragnar, which I love, and we got Gaskell, who looks great. But then they didn't give either side another second figure. They didn't give anything new. Makari doesn't count. Makari is just a little bitty guy. That doesn't count. They gave us.
I'm pretty sure Orc players would disagree with you on the Makari thing.
No. He counts. He's a good figure. He is actually a good figure, but that doesn't count as a second unit of new figures because he's part of Gaskell.
I would like to point out that the Eldar only got the Banshees, and that's it.
And Jane Czar.
Yeah, they got their.
They got 2 new figures. They got a leader and a unit. And the Drukhari got a leader and a unit. We both got a leader. We didn't get a unit. They could have given us a wolf-specific melee Primaris, and I'd have been happy. That's all I asked for. That's all I asked. But they didn't give it to us.
2 weeks.
I'm going to be salty about it all summer.
2 weeks he has been ranting about this, and he keeps going, no, I'm over it. I'm over it now. No. I'm not going to go in it. I'm not going to let the salt get to me. I'm not going to go into it. And let's see, we've been at this how long now?
I'm going to be salty about this.
Just talk about Gaskell.
All summer.
Just talk about the damn figure Gaskell.
Okay, here's the problem with Gaskell.
I didn't mean that way.
I love the figure. He's gorgeous. He's beautiful. I love the alternate pose. They showed his alternate pose.
Yes, I've seen it.
He's got a pose where instead of doing all lean back and look like he's crazy, he's got one where he's standing there being, I'm a bad dude. And it's a great figure. He's so gorgeous. I love
My
him.
comment was, so he went from dance off pose to pose off.
Yeah.
All right.
It basically, it's The Rock. You know, I mean, it really is. He's what Dwayne Johnson would look like in 40K. He's the biggest, baddest dude on the block. That's all there is to it.
Pretty sure he wouldn't be an orc.
Yeah, he would be.
No, I'm pretty sure he'd be standing on top of a tank somewhere screaming.
Are you saying that
200 miles an hour?
Are you saying that Dwayne Johnson's a space Asian?
Yeah, because he's part Polynesian.
Okay, I'll let that go. I won't disagree with that one.
Or he would be.
He's an orc.
Vulcan.
No, he's not Vulcan.
No, I could see him as Vulcan because everybody needs a hug, man.
Mm.
I will hug each of father's brittle bones. You think he'd be a catch can?
Yeah.
I can't picture him as just I don't know, but I can't picture him as Vulcan.
All right.
After watching him in Kevin Hart
Yeah.
in Central Intelligence. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the problem I have with Gaskell is that after they released some of the orc rules, they've basically the new rules basically make you not want to play Gaskell. And that's sad. And it's sad
The
because
Rock has been claimed
for the
in the name
space
of the White Scars.
in the space agents.
Tell me you could not, Mythos, tell me you could not see in a live action movie The Rock wearing the White Scars armor, standing on top of a tank
No,
going
not a
200
tank.
miles an hour.
Not a tank. I can see him on a jet bike surfing it with his lance out.
Just screaming.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Please, please, please.
We've
Do
already,
not
no.
get him going
We've
again.
already covered it all. It's fine. I can move on now. I've said everything I need to say about it. Gaz looks good. Ragnar's great. Infiltrators are great, but they're not good wolves. I don't need knobs. I really don't want mega knobs. So there's no reason for me to buy the box. So in return, I bought some third-party miniatures and my orc starter box I was planning for later this summer. I got it now. I get it Wednesday. Amazon delivers. And I have some wonderful alternate miniatures coming from a Russian wargame company that makes big, chunky vehicles. that I'm going to convert into Orky vehicles. They have jets, and they have tanks, and they have tracked vehicles, and they all look awesome.
I still stand by that. I think he would make a pretty.
Vin Diesel is Angron.
I'd consider watching that on Netflix.
Yes, Cinedave, Technolog. Yes, exactly. I mentioned that in their live stream. Yeah, Technolog, great stuff. I got a bunch of their stuff coming. If it ends up being as good as it is, I have a line on a $50 set that's about 40 pounds of plastic. And I love plastic. Everyone knows how much I love plastic. Do I love plastic? I love plastic. So I'm not getting these guys built. I'm just talking. I enjoy you guys so much. That being said, I love you guys. And I mean that honestly and truly. You guys are just the best. It is such...
I know it to Kinder in the background.
Kinder! We're live. Just,
Yeah, she noticed.
I didn't know she noticed.
Someone's been working in the yard.
She's using this moment to work on the garden.
The large.
Yeah, those walkers. I'm thinking about getting a couple of those walkers for my Imperial Guard and convert them up because they're a little bigger. I noticed a comparison on them. They're a little bigger than the Imperial Guard walkers, but I can live with that because for the price of one Imperial Guard walker, I can get 4 of those. So I can get 3 for my Imperial Guard and then take one and orc it up. So
the cats trying to kill each other.
They also have a flyer that looks just like, and I mean just like the Space Marine flyer, the Storm something or other. It looks just like they're just like the Space Marines Interceptor. It looks just like it. It's just chunky. So I may use it as a counts as, because again, I don't play competitive. I play with friends and casuals. I'll have it for you in just a moment.
We need to get another thing of glue.
Well, we have another thing of glue.
Where? It's not up there.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? I didn't see it.
It's that closed package up there. I didn't open it back up.
That closed package up there is super glue.
No, it's not. Look.
Oh, you mean the one that's backs to us that's not in the glue thing? Yeah. How was I supposed to know that?
Because you're magical.
I was magical.
She is a unicorn. She can't get mad at me. I'm complimenting her.
Who here actually thinks that I would qualify as a unicorn? Just RoboGear!
Yes, okay, so RoboGear, yeah, so he knows what I'm talking about when I've been talking about these Russian Technolog.
I just love that out of nowhere. RoboGear! Are you trying to save the man from being spanked?
Yeah, so I've got, like I said, I've got 4 pieces coming in the next couple of weeks, and then if that works out and I like them, I'm literally, I've got a line on buying it's crazy. It's like 15 boxes and it's $55. So with $10 of shipping because it's coming from Indiana. So I'll probably be getting that.
No, it's the cats.
Oh,
There's
whatever.
a couple of them back there.
Cats. We have cats. The beauty of that in a time like this, if we ever run short on food,
don't even.
We have cats.
Our cats are not anywhere big enough for that. We got a rabbit downstairs. It goes first.
It's like chicken wings.
So I'm told. That rabbit's bigger than most of my cats.
Well, I didn't say it wouldn't go first. All right. Breacher team. Okay. So if anybody has not built Tau before, holy crap, this is 10 guys. This is 10 guys. Do you see how packed these sprues are? I just put the blue ring.
Yeah, here, you can have that one now.
You're gonna open up a second bottle, even though this one's mostly full.
Yes.
Or whatever.
That way I can stop, figuring out where you keep stealing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my wife.
They like me more than you anyway.
It's because you have tits.
Exactly.
These guys are super fiddly. I mean, my gosh. Super fiddly. So, and everything has, they got these little tiny, here's a little ear thing, and here's a little backpack thing. And you can use any one of the 14 versions that we have in the spruce. They all look separately. So they don't all look the same, except they all look the same.
He's been on this one all morning, too.
I mean, they're great. I love them. I've actually, by building them and getting through building them, I am coming to really enjoy the Tau because I've been reading their lore and I've been reading their codex, and I've been looking at army lists for them and seeing what's effective for play and what are their really big, like, if I go past kill team with these guys and it's not just using figures my friend loaned me, that's his 3rd edition Tau army. If I end up eventually building my own Tau army, I kind of know what I want to do.
Take care, Kaiju.
And I'm sure Kaiju, although he is leaving, can understand this because him and Weatherpig would both get this. I want to make the Gundam Force. Like, although I'm going to paint these guys like Tron, I really kind of want to do the loads of robots. If we can build robots, we want bigger robots.
It's only been an hour, Commodore. What did you think was going to happen?
It's an effort. I'll do it live. These normally go for at least an hour and a half.
Mythos wants to know if it was a 1-minute read. Build lots of suits, spam drones, win?
No, actually, that's the thing. I don't want to build lots of suits. I want to build big suits. I want to get storm surges. I want to have 3 storm surges walk out on the battle and just unleash hell. And then a bunch of crisis suits. And then spam drones. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes, there was no moderator before that's not me. Remember how that goes.
And here's the thing, Mike. I'm an orca too. I mean, that's the thing. I have a problem. Because I've come to understand something about myself. You know what that problem is?
You're addicted to plastic.
I like plastic. Before I built these guys, I built my other half of Shadow Spear. I have an entire Chaos army designed and a build list of what I'm going to build. I know what I want. So, and I don't know if I know it's tournament legal. I know it's legal to play. I don't know if it's going to be effective, but it looks like it'd be a heck of a lot of fun to try. So it's going to be kind of crazy.
Oh, child!
You're addicted to resin? I'm so sorry. Because resin is awful. Yeah, that's for dinner tonight. All the big end robots roots have been riptides. Oh, yeah, I mean, riptides. Yeah, no, riptides are the medium ones. I want the storm surges. I want the ones I want the Tau equivalent of Imperial Knights that look like the Gundam that would, like, before they'd fire their missiles or their guns, they'd shoot little things into the ground to reinforce their foot placement on the ground. You know what I'm talking about? That's old Gundam. That's Robotech era Gundam. And the thing is, I think one of the things I would do if I do Riptides and or Storm Surges, I would try and find Gundam kits in the same scale or at least around the same size pieces, and use those to add pieces to my Tau to make them look more Gundam-like. So, oh, what's my Trader Legion? I am doing I'm doing what do you call it?
Red Corsairs.
Red Corsairs. I love the Red Corsairs. I love the fluff behind the Red Corsairs. I love their named character. I love their named character. I just love their look. I love their colors. I love their fluff, and I love their rules. So I'm just going straight out Red Corsairs. I had thought about at one point doing Emperor's Children because I'd really like Slaanesh, but I'm like, you know what? Red Corsairs aren't aligned to any one Chaos God. If I want to add Slaaneshi demons, I can always tack on an attachment of Slaaneshi demons. I have a snack for you. No, I won't. I want. Yeah. I'll put it in. Hang on. Here's my snack for you. Here goes. You can have a cookie.
Oh, that's because you picked the wrong freaking skull. Wrong skull.
Well, he has two.
Yeah. I was trying to do the wrong side.
What?
She wants one of your caramel delights.
No. Nope. Those are mine. So yeah. But I'm addicted to this game. I love this game. I love the Tau. I love the look. I didn't know what they were beforehand. I didn't know how to tell them apart. Once I learned how to tell them apart, beep beep boop. I'm so cute. I mean, they're just awesome. They're awesome little cute robots. And suits, and I love their look. I just love their overall look.
Why are you waiting on a tow truck? Aren't you supposed to be at home?
What did you do? But while we're waiting for the answer,
I don't think he did, Zane. He hasn't really been looking at Discord today.
No. Sending painting feedback. Let me go look. I've been at the phone all day. I've been at the PC all day.
That's the dude that.
Oh, it's a Necron Silent King. Oh, he took the silk. Yes. Nice.
Oh. Yes. Okay. Tall man is going to infect you. He is the. It's not painted, so. Just made a file.
Oh, is it something you're going to print? Oh, is that the thing you put on Thingiverse? Okay.
Is that thing using my axe?
Yeah. It's very cool, Zane. I'm very... Like I said, I may actually have you print out some stuff for me. We'll have to talk about how that works. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that because I really am interested in having you print a few things for me until I get my new printer. Just quick catching up on the hand. Interpret belt broke. Oh.
He tried to infect you. He's now dead, and you were towing yourself home.
Trying to Alpha Legion. You know it's going to do Black Legion because of their online. Here's the thing. I really was leaning towards doing Black Legion for one reason and one reason only. I want to put Abaddon in an army. Abaddon is just a beautiful figure. And since I'm not playing Ultramarines and don't have a reason and don't have a reason to play Robo Girly Man, I don't like buying figures and painting them that I'm not going to play. It's a thing for me. I just, if I buy a figure, my intent is to play it. I have over on my shelf the one figure that I have not played yet, or don't have an army to play with yet. And because of him, and because of him, I'm going to end up playing a Mechanicum army. And that's, like I said, that's the thing. I love this game. I love that I can put together 500 points and sit down and play a small game with a friend of an army, and I can get another 500 points of a different army together and give it to someone else, and we can play that. Go see what the child is doing. But I mean, that's the thing. That's what I love about this game, is that I don't have to stick to one army. There are two ways to do it. There are two ways to play. You can put everything into one army and just buy a gigantic army and play any configuration, or you can buy a couple little armies. And right now, I'm kind of in that mid zone. I have like 3,500 points of Space Wolves and like 4,000 points of Death Guard. And I've got about 500 points, maybe 700 points of Orcs right now. But I've got a box coming with more. I have just started my Chaos Marine army. And I have a kill team's worth of Tau. But I also have about 3,000 points of the AOS Sigmarines. I've got about 3,000 points of them put together. I don't see me slowing. I see me slowing down as far as purchases, just because of the economic realities of now that I have sold off all of my Magic cards. Because that's the other thing. I'm all about pacing yourself for your economic realities. I'm not willing to go in hock. I'm not willing to go in debt. I'm not willing to put my family at risk for being able to pay bills because I had to have that figure. I had to have that box. I had to have something. I'm not willing to do that. I am a responsible gamer. So 90% of the figures I have were, I budgeted for a bunch of them, and then I took 30 years of Magic the Gathering cards, or 25 years of Magic the Gathering cards, that I got from playing competitively and playing and collecting and playing and collecting and working for Wizards of the Coast for close to 10 years. I had shipping crates of Magic cards, and I sold them all. I sold them all to the local gaming store, and because I was looking just to get them in trade, because hobby money spent is hobby money spent. I'm not trading it like, I'm trading like for like. I got her Christmas presents. I got my Shadow Spear box. I got a couple other starter boxes. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff. I got like 90% of my figures through that, because the hobby is expensive. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna go, oh no, it's cheap. Anybody can get into it. It's expensive. It's cheap to get started. Kill Team is a great way to get into the game because you need one box of figures, maybe two, and then you're done. You don't have to get any more than that. And then if you decide you like it, then you can expand. So for starting off gaming, I mean, Raceland, my son, he was like, I love the Imperial Guard. And then he saw how many figures he would have to actually purchase and build and paint to make an Imperial Guard army. And he was like, I'm not doing this. No. Video games. He was just like, I can't do this. I can't paint. I can't build that much. I enjoy the game, but I can't do that. So what did he do to be able to play with people? Because we can't play. We can't go out to anybody. We can't hang out with them. My son bought himself and bought me a copy of Tabletop Simulator. And we've got it all set up. I've got a couple armies built. And later today, after the stream, later this evening, probably after dinner or whatnot, he and I are going to hook up. He's got his computer upstairs. I got my computer here. we're gonna hook up and we're gonna play a 40K, and I'm gonna play my renegade my renegade unit against his I believe he's got a Custodes army that he's gonna be playing. So
Something like that. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
really liking how his Custodes are.
Yeah. So we're gonna play 40K, and in a month he's moving to Florida.
Georgia.
Okay, the Georgia-Florida border.
He's on the Georgia side.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. He is in Georgia, but it's literally the Georgia-Florida border. He is moving down there, and for me, that's a 16-hour drive.
18.
So I'm not going to see my son that often. But his big thought was, this is something he and I can do when we can't see each other, because we still both have a love of 40K. So we're gonna be able.
Still a good boy.
He's a good boy. So I'll be able to play 40K remotely, and I'll be able to hang out with my son. What?
None. I just didn't scrape something off like I thought I did. Go back to your conversation.
I'm looking at what you're doing here. That you're ruining figures. What are you doing?
I am not ruining shit. He'll be living a country song. Possibly he's going to be on the Air Force base.
Yeah,
down
he's
there.
going to be working on an Air Force base down there. And it'll be good for him, though. It's a good experience. He needs to get away from home.
He is at that age where he needs to spread his wings. And
My
try.
baby is 21 years old. It's kind of... I think I just felt my soul leave my body a little bit.
Whereas I'm the horrible person that's already making plans on what I'm going to do to his bedroom once he's gone.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm feeling old. My baby is turning 16 on the 31st. And I wanted to go see her so bad, and I can't.
Because it's
She's in California.
in California is
I know travel status.
yeah. Hey, dude, get Tabletop Simulator. Seriously, if you want to play remotely with people that you don't normally get to play with, get Tabletop Simulator.
So how many players can Tabletop Simulator have at a time?
For any game?
Yeah.
I think 16.
So if we so felt inclined, I miss having little ones. I really do.
I don't.
But I'm looking forward to when my children finally decide they're big enough, old enough, and mature enough to have grandbabies, because that's going to be the best, because then I can give them back.
I don't need poop machines. I'm done with poop machines.
Anyway, no, the reason why I was asking that is how much fun would it be to get, a group of us get it, and we can just do either a free-for-all, or B, a 2v2, or
The problem is that honestly, because you haven't played very much yet, a free-for-all with that many players is utter madness and would not be fun, unfortunately.
I've seen what it was like with 3.
Yeah, 3 can be fun. 4 is
3 wasn't fun for him.
That's because they were afraid of my sick boys.
No, that was because the Drukari was pissing you off.
Well, the Drukari pissed me off anyhow, but they were afraid of my. All they talk about, how gross those are. They're so sick. They're gonna... You know
what the Drukari player did?
You want to talk about Tau and be salty about Tau? You should play against Drukari. They run up, they shoot, then they run away like little bitches.
They don't even run up, they run by.
Like little bitches.
Damn, a 20,000 point with 8 players on each side, 16 people all together. Damn, that would be cool. That would take all day. Kind of like a raid in World of Warcraft.
I don't think you could get through a full game. I think you'd get through like 2 rounds.
I don't know. I think it might be easier on the computer because you're not having to explain everything.
No, but you still have to manually pick up all your units and move them and all that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's a little bit easier. I'm pretty sure on a computer. And it doesn't have to be like Yu-Gi-Oh! You played 1 versus 2. How'd that battle turn out, Zane? I'm actually kind of curious.
It was fun, but long.
Were you playing your Inquisition? Ooh, speaking of Inquisition, I just remembered. I have Scions.
You do.
I forgot all about them.
You do.
I'm surprised he hasn't taken it.
They're not mine.
He has asked if he could have my Corvixes, though, because, the Corvix Cabal,
I was only joking around about it. I really,
he wanted something to build.
I wanted something to build. Then I remembered I've got stuff to build.
Oh, that was before you did your Inquisition. Then what army were you playing then, if I may ask? Marines and Guards, and a lot of tanks. That seems to be part of the core, I've noticed.
I mean, my guard army is mechanized. So yeah, I mean, I was looking for something to build, and I forgot I had a bunch of stuff still sitting over there. So I decided to bite the bullet and build my towel. Beep beep boop. I'm so cute. Look at them. They're just gorgeous. They're the cutest little things.
One of them, he showed me it, the drone, and I was like, if I had this and it was mine, I would paint it white, but the ears would be pink.
Either I'm thinking about painting them all yellow. Maybe paint these guys up as Pikachus.
We did have that conversation.
We are the Pikachu sept.
You were fighting orcs and Eldar because
Reasons.
Of course I was. There was a stomp up. It was bad.
So yeah, I mean,
okay, so now
the nice thing about the hobby is that there's so much to like about it, and there's so much fun to do with it, and you don't have to get locked into. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people that are locked into their chosen, and they're good with just that. And you know what? All the power in the world to them. I remember a couple of months back, I threw a link up during I think one of Mythos's chats to a guy. Yeah. I sent up a link to a guy that had 20,000 points of orc, and it was entirely Goths, and he had like tons of kit bashed and custom vehicles and just all kinds of crazy stuff. And he literally took a 10-foot by 4-foot table and had every inch of it covered in orcs. And it was a great looking army. And it was, 30 years or 20 years or whatever it was of building his faction. And I get a lot of respect for people like that. You found what you loved and you went with it.
bye, Mike. Enjoy your dinner.
I'll be honest, I'm the guy that I like stuff, and I will go in. I will go all in on stuff.
But he'll also find other things and enjoy them as well.
Yeah.
He can appreciate the variety, the spice that is the variety in life.
Yeah, I mean, the first to admit that
we have a throne.
I'll be the first to admit that my wolves are my true love. They are my first love, and they are so awesome. And the funny thing was, like, I had never had any interest in playing Death Guard, and then we got the starter box, and I was just looking at the figures in that starter box, and I fell in love with them. I'm like, I love Gross. I've always liked Nurgle, but I wanted to do Nurgle in fantasy. I wanted to do a Nurgle fantasy army. I've always been Slaanesh has always been my thing. I really love the whole mentality of Slaanesh, which I thought would have been fun if I'd gone all in and done a Chaos Slaanesh army, and then you doing your Drukhari. That'd have been, a lot of fun there. For just on a whole, just playing. Because I've always liked Slaanesh as far as the Chaos Gods go. But like I said, we got the starter box, and I was looking at those figures, and I'm just like, oh, these are awesome. Look at these guys. They're just gross looking.
At that point, I wasn't playing yet.
No, I'm like, these guys are gross looking. I gotta paint these. So I fell in with my boys. But that's a new thing for me. I mean, wolves were my original, and then after I got through the chaos, and then I actually built Death Guard before I got into Marines, back in Marines in 8th edition. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do Marines. I'm going to do Tau. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm like doing all these other things. This is the one that actually convinced me to do the wolves. Because she's like, you like your wolves. Why aren't you doing your wolves? Well, I want to do something different. Well, why aren't you doing your wolves? You really want to do your wolves. Yeah, good point. Because I don't have laymen, but the Ultramarines, they have Ghouliman, and I can build a big Ghoul Primarch. But you don't like the Ultramarines. Yeah, I don't.
He went from one faction to another, and I'm like, so, and he just kept talking about the wolves. So I was like, so why don't you just make the wolves?
She makes a good argument.
He couldn't decide what he wanted to commit to, so. Oh. Alrighty. Take care, Hellchild.
Be well, dude. So yeah, but that's again.
Yeah, Papa Smurf and the Ultra Smurfs.
I want to do a Codex compliant Marine chapter, but I don't want to do an established chapter. I want to do my own, so I can do my own custom paint job and my own custom paint scheme, because I've got a great idea for a custom paint scheme.
I came up with an odd. He's not Fjord or Crazy Pants Off anymore. He is now the Fjord Emperor.
That's right. And they're not in the warp. They're currently in Kamara.
I still love it. Man, I don't mean to be pushy, but... And I'm sitting here watching that part going, oh my god, that's what he was like as a father. No wonder the boys wouldn't stop fighting each other. Walk it off, Sonny. We have fun here. I want to get a Fjordur figure just so I can make the Star Fjord Emperor.
She literally wants this, and is going to 3D print a special head just so she can do it. Just to paint it. Just to paint it.
Just like I did with my 3 strippers. But he explained to me I'm not allowed to do that unless we win the lotto.
No, I didn't say that at all.
He doesn't understand why I want to buy figures simply to paint them and display them.
And it's not that I don't understand it. I get that there are some people that are in that, and I'm not trying to knock that. I don't want to knock that, because there are some people that love this hobby, not for playing, but they just love the lore, and they love the figures, and they build and they build and they paint and they build, but they don't build or paint to play. They build them to display them because they think they're so pretty. And I get that.
Doing a text-to-speech diorama would be pretty friggin' epic, man.
At the second, I dropped an arm.
I think that would be fun. I mean, the text-to-speech is the whole reason that I went and I got my Tempesta Scions. Why I wanted to give the Custodians a go, and actually ultimately what made me decide that I want to do Salamanders when I do a Marine Army. Adventure! And then I had to ask, but I really want a Magnus the Red. But then again, I am planning on building a Thousand Sons army and a Tzeentch army, so me having a Magnus actually makes sense eventually, but man, do I want one.
He's expensive, but he's a beautiful figure. I mean, If there is a figure I were to build, if there were a figure I were to build and paint and display and not play, he'd be one of the ones I would consider.
Having gotten a good look at Angron, or not Angron, Fulgrim though, and Angron, their actual
The 30K figures?
no, their daemon selves. I actually found some official art of what the
Well, the official art, but they don't have figures for it.
yeah. If they made figures for those guys, man, I would love to get my hands on this. I mean, they're just so dramatic.
I don't play 30K, but I've thought about getting a Layman Russ.
I told him at one point that if I could and we could afford it, I wanted to get each of the Primarchs from 30K and paint them all.
And I somewhat support this plan,
Only if we win the lotto.
unfortunately, because they are expensive.
We win the lotto and I don't have to work outside the house.
Yeah, if we win the lotto, I mean, if I were to win the lotto, I mean, yeah.
Text-to-speech is pretty freaking cool. And I was really happy when he finally released a new episode. And I love the riff-off.
That shit's funny.
I thought it was just amazingly well put together and all that fun jazzy stuff. I mean, the people behind the whole series, I think, are really freaking cool. And they're very creative. And I love the fact that, well, everything is presented in a humorous way. They're not really fudging anything. I mean, they're staying pretty close to lore, except for the fact, Magnus getting his soul back because of a children's card game.
Well, the thing is, it's not that they're just staying close to the lore, that they're dealing with, in a humorous way, they're dealing with a lot of the retcons that have gone over and over and over through the years. I mean, there is so much stuff. I mean, there was an official Layman Russ figure when Layman Russ
Was just a captain.
was just a captain. It was just the greatest captain before they even had what Primarchs established were. He was like the greatest captain they had. I mean, they had art of Layman Russ in the original Rogue Trader box. And he's awful looking because he's wired into whatever equipment he's in. And he's got wires up his nose and he's got one of his eyes is all replaced. And it's an awful looking figure because the way they're showing him, it almost looks like he's in a dreadnought or something. But it's a really close-up shot. It's a Blanchitsu piece of art. And they called them Captain Layman Russ in that picture. And it's an awful-looking piece of art. But he was named already. And
then they decided, no, he's actually one of the sons of the emperor.
Well, that, like I said, that came later. That was the whole thing. Then they decided, well, maybe, and then they, as more and more people and the game got more popular, they just started adding. I'm dropping. There you are. They just started adding all this extra lore, which is great. But unfortunately, as is known, as bad as some comics, when you add lore, sometimes it doesn't jive up with what you've already said.
Like the fact that one of the previous lore comments that they put in was that the Emperor created the Primarchs for very specific purposes, so that once he was done, like with his Thunder Warriors, he would have Layman kill them all. Layman was created specifically to be faultlessly loyal and would kill when told, and Magnus was designed specifically to sit on the Golden Throne and power the Omnicron. Bye. Have fun with dinner.
The space beacon.
The space beacon for the rest of eternity. And then they ended up retconning that into they were just his sons. And because for some god-awful reason he decided, I want to be a daddy. Even though 2 of his kids are dead and gone. And no one's really sure what happened to those 2. one of the rumors is that Layman actually killed them.
Killed one, and the other was censured. Like I said, they again, their own lore has been changed over the years, and that's why the way they get away with it is that they have, all their books are considered to be in-game propaganda. So they're all considered to be unreliable narrators. So, which is an easy way of copying out of saying, well, we're going to change this later, or we might change this later, but we're not beholden to anything.
He did not put them in a bag and toss them in the river, Dane. At least I think he didn't.
So, and that's the thing. I'm okay with it. It's whatever they do is whatever they do. Because in the end, I'll be honest, there's a lot of the books I don't read, and a lot of the lore I don't read, because it's a lot of damn books. Nose itch. There's a lot of damn books.
Son of a...
And because they're not written by the same writers, and because they're not controlled by the same, they're written in this shared universe, that sometimes the talent of the people they have writing varies widely.
I will put your ass in timeout.
What do you do now?
Oh, he's talking about throwing kids in the river. As a mother, I do not appreciate that, and my hands are kind of full at the moment, so because Harold.
Really? Harold? I thought he was a Steve.
You guys believe in this man?
Beep beep boop. We're so cute.
I am getting a little sick of that.
It could be worse. I could be doing it with the toaster lovers. I hear that. Toaster lover.
we have that's a good question.
What's that?
Actually, I think Layman killing them later at his father's behest would be better than sticking them in a sack and throwing them in the river, dude.
Well, there's actually, if we're talking about that, in one of the books, it's referenced because they come to where they have the pillars there's 20 pillars, and 18 of them have the chapter and the name of the Primarch on them. And then there's 2 of them that have that information, but they've been eradicated clear. They've been eradicated and had all their information removed. And the 2 Primarchs that are talking about their brethren, they refer to them as one of them being lost and one of them being killed. And there is an inference that Layman killed the one, and it was well before the heresy began that Layman killed the one. And the one that's missing, or as I think they call them the lost, was also well beforehand. Now the thing is that, again, if you go back to the beginnings of the game, the whole reason they had 2 chapters that they didn't identify was so that they never had the idea that there were going to be successor chapters. The whole idea was that there was these 20 chapters, 10 chaos, 10 good guys. And I don't even think most of them even talked about chaos, because Chaos Marines weren't even in the beginning. But they created the chapters, and then the idea is that they left 2 of them unnamed so that players could create their own chapters. And then because so many people had to ask, what about this chapter? What happened to this chapter? What happened to the chapter? They're there for you to play them. They're there for you to create your own chapter in the game.
Welcome back, Hellchild.
They're there for you to create your own damn successor chapter. That's what they're there for. But why are they there? So you can make your own. But they wanted an in-game reason. So they had to go, okay, what happened to them? I don't think plastic glue is going to work on that. I think you have to use super glue for that.
I'm pretty sure this is plastic.
It's green stuff.
No, I'm putting it down here on this side, not on that side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work. That should work. So I mean, but because the fans are like, well, we have to have a reason. You have to give us a reason. We have to have a reason. And, they had to come up with a reason because Black Library took off. Black Library took off.
Black Library is officially, when you stop and think about it, seriously nothing but fanfics.
It's official fanfic, and the problem is that a lot of it contradicts itself, and they're okay with that because that way they can just keep selling figures.
I came up with a reason why I could have an all-female salamander army. It's awful. Yes, Lehman was originally a Imperial commander. And now look at him. He's a drunk in the warp.
So, yeah. Again, just more reasons to love this game because there's all the weirdness that they do. So, whatever.
Now the defensive silence.
Yeah.
They're really trying not to explode.
That
was 11. Where's 12? There's 12.
Is what it is. How you doing there?
I'm actually almost done with him.
Look at you. She's a building fiend. Oh, did you glue him to the spot that was open on the base there? That's nice. That's nice. Can I see?
Yeah, go for it.
It's almost centered even too. That's really good. That's nice. That works out well.
I centered it as best I could.
Yeah, that works out well. That works out real well. Thank you to Rob at TMP for this wonderful base.
Yep. I'll show it when
it's done drying.
Dry.
And primed.
She had a good teacher. Yes, I did have many good teachers. Dee is an amazing teacher, in all honesty, when it came to doing this, even if he likes to playfully rib me about how meticulous I am about all this. I comment about how he's mean to me, but he's really not. He's very supportive. And I got very lucky that our community that we're part of is very supportive, and I've learned many tips and tricks from the varying artists and builders in the area, which was very blessed with. Zane is never going to forgive you for that.
Zane, you're lucky I'm not in your area. I wouldn't steal your models, but you might come home to not having a 3D printer one day.
Beat teachers. Oh, best teachers better pick on you or they suck. This is true. Some of the best teachers I ever had they like to pick on people. And they will call you out. And he does that frequently.
Well,
they're trying to tying shotguns to the door.
Yeah.
Those poor Jehovah's Witnesses will never know what hit them. Anyway, are those Mormons?
Yeah, they both are.
Anyway,
that would be funny as shit. Let me tell you.
Stop it. But yeah, no. As things have gone, I've found that we've talked about this briefly in the past. That doing this is actually an amazing stress relief for me, and it has helped dramatically with my art and getting creative juices flowing. Which those of you who have commissioned me for art know, because it allows me to, kind of get an idea of how the armor lays out. Which is fun, because if you ever try to draw the armor from World of Warcraft, holy jeez, oh Pete. Candygram. Yeah, and if you guys can hear, Will is the plague child is in the living room currently FaceTiming with some friends, likely playing a game. Mostly because somebody got in trouble for breaking quarantine.
Yeah.
Didn't quite understand the concept of quarantine. Thought it was, oh, I don't have to just go to school, so I'm going to go hang out with my friends. Wait. I love you. No.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
But yes. And then the whole thing with the night haunt is I've actually got a number of them, and I need to get just enough built so that, yes.
So that we can play.
Well, that too. Got 500 points of Drakari.
I'm thinking about getting, if you actually have them built with a leader type so we can actually play a 500-point game, I'm thinking we should do a 500-point battle report.
I do just need to base the succubus.
Drakari versus Plague Marines. No, you're not. You're going to...
I don't have any vehicles.
Yeah, you do.
Not in a 500 point.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, I get
You get the
two.
venom. You get the venom, which is
I
what
get
you...
a venom and 3 bikes.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And that's more than enough to fucking annoy me.
Except for I may have to use orc tactics if you start, blowing my crap up. Fuck it, he's killing my guys. Just dive bomb right into the center. I have seen this used as a button. Better elves versus human.
I could do elves versus my Imperial Guard. Except I'd be more worried about the Drakari winning. Only because we're not taking territory. But you're awful cute. Oh, crap. You're going to look nice in that song. Now, hold up.
So, apparently my Craven King has a hollow butt. He's got 2 empty butt cheeks. So there's that part of him. Now I need to add his belt buckle. Or is that his chest piece? Oh no, that's his chest piece. Ah, I knew that. Flashlights versus sharp metals.
You don't understand, though. My Imperial Guard army uses very little flashlights. Like I've said before, my Imperial Guard army is...
they got a lot of tanks.
Very mechanized.
They have a lot of tanks. It's kind of annoying. But, it is what it is.
Although at 500 points, I'm going to be forced to use dudes. Because, dudes.
I am going to admit this to everybody who is here and who is watching this later, that one of the biggest reasons why I've probably drug my feet putting together, actually finishing armies is I'm terrified to play because I know I'm going to lose. Why? Because I can't roll dice for shit.
Never mind that she did well in the tournament.
Yeah.
You did well in the tournament.
I'm going to think that that's because of the cups that Ben made us and the trays that we had.
I'm going to tell you what it was because of.
It was because
You built a good army.
I have talked to Freak. He and I are kindred spirits because his roles are much like mine.
You built a good army. You really did. You built a great army.
Yeah, my.
The problem is that when it came down to you getting rushed with too many points to control, that's where the Custodian's real weakness is. The figures are strong, but you can't control much on the board with them because you get so few of them in kill team.
Yes.
I thought you did great though.
Oh no, I understand that he is quite. They were great in
Beat me.
in straight kill team. They're not so good when it comes to arena matches because you can only have 3 of them. Versus,
Well, it's not that you can only have 3 of them. Is that arena matches are very specifically designed for board. They're specifically designed for board control. So
bring it on, Zane. Take out all that anger on me. Come on, give it to me. Give me your hate. Give in to the dark side. Embrace corn.
Hold up.
He's the one who's being all bitter about, the fact that I'm a better painter, which I don't think I am. Because I think Zane is still really. I'm not saying that I'm no. That's not what I meant, you jackwagon. What I meant is that Zane thinks he is a shit painter. He is not. He is very freaking talented. He inspired me with my cornates with the blood splatter and whatnot because I saw him do it and I thought it was just an amazing effect. I love his figures and I love his paint job. I take inspiration from everyone, and I think it's awesome. Because, in my opinion, that's what this community is.
When I started figure painting again,
are we talking
about Tabletop Minions? Uncle Adam at Tabletop Minions had a very important point that he was making on his channel in the video one week, and it is the truest of truths, the most righteous of truths when it comes to figure painting.
Compare yourself to no one.
When you're looking at your figures, it is okay to look at other people's figures for inspiration, for ideas, for tips, for tricks, for just general, wow, how'd you do that, and make you think. You and your figures should only ever be compared to one thing, your own figures. What have you done before? What are you doing now? What will you do next? I have 4 generations of paint in my Space Wolves right now, and you can see very clearly the differences in my painting as I've picked up new techniques. And I keep them in the same army. So you can see, Rob's talked about his army, because it's like, my wolves go from really crappy when I first started painting to really nice now. My wolves aren't that far off. I had been painting for a bit before I started on my wolves, so I'd kind of flexed the muscles with the basics on them. But compared to like my latest wolves, my very earliest wolves are kind of they're functional.
You should see my first Dracari. I mean, they're not bad. They're just, wow, could I not settle on a scheme?
And that's the thing. You don't ever paint, you never base your figures on what other people got. Because unless you're in a competition painting tournament where the whole idea is you're comparing yourself to other painters.
Even then.
No, even then, because then you got to look at, what do they do? How do I beat that? I mean, that's an honest truth there. If you're trying to compete in painting, then you have to compare yourself to other painters and how do I do better than them? But everyday painting, you're not trying to beat anyone else. You're just trying to be better than the last thing you did. You're trying to be better than what you've done before. You're trying to improve on what you are.
Exactly. And Zane, that would be a negative. As to what I was saying before I said you were a good painter was, yes, bring it on. Give in to your hate. Let corn embrace you. I am a long-time artist, mostly with pen and paper and canvas. And a friend of mine many years ago told me, she said that you are only as good as you practice to be. So if you do not practice, someone else out there is, And when you meet them in your mind, they will be the better, but they're not. They have a different technique. Everybody has different techniques. I have been doing art for over 30 years, and I look at it as new techniques. What can I learn? How can I use this? If I showed you the stuff that I drew back in high school compared to the stuff I drew in middle school, compared to when I actually took a couple of art lessons to now, oh, yeah, huge difference. But again, that's neither here nor there because everybody changes. Everybody evolves, and everybody has things like I love kaiju and oni and weather pigs paint jobs on the stuff they do. I think kaiju's blending on his monsters is freaking amazing. I love the way the Commodore gets his colors to look so flawless.
Commodore's crisp. I mean, his paint scheme, his paint methodology is crisp.
I love it.
It's so clean. And not everybody can paint that clean and still make the figures look engaging. I've seen people paint clean, and a lot of times, very clean paint jobs don't tell a story. They're just very functional.
I mean, and it's like everybody in this community that I have met, I have taken something away from each and every person.
You should see the box of figures she's got stored back there. Oh, you don't mean the stuff you're stealing from them?
I'm not stealing figures, but I meant techniques that I learn and things that I attempt to duplicate. And then we're not going to talk about the stuff that I attempt to duplicate that doesn't work out very well, that ends up in a bath.
Once I learned how to easy bath figures,
Oh my gosh.
I can tell you right now, this guy, the first Tau I built, which I built him, I want to say 6 months ago, before I decided to build the rest of this box. He's been painted fully 3 times now. He has been fully bathed 3 times now.
And once again, you are being... Zane is never going to let that shit go. I find that vastly entertaining.
What? What's my... Oh, that I steal figures?
Yeah, because you made that comment, you should see the ones that she has in the back that she's stolen.
Oh.
And he goes, that's your thing. And Hellchild says that, oh, shall I do it, Hellchild? I can do it for you. As soon as he puts the knife down.
No.
Oh, I'm not even worried about that part. That's not what she'll stab me with. That's too clean. So if I ever go missing, have a good night, Hellchild. If I ever go missing and you see him eating a bowl of chili.
If I ever go missing, we're having a chili cookout. If you ever goes missing, we're having a chili cookout.
It's a very warped and ongoing joke with us. We probably shouldn't keep using that.
What do you mean?
Those jokes, because if something does happen to me, people are going to think you actually did something to me.
I would never do anything to you.
Intentionally.
I would never. See, that's not who I am. That's not who I am.
Oof, gracious. I need to scoot back up again.
Because here's the thing.
God damn it.
And this is the honest truth about me.
I appreciate content on the stream. I witness. Inappropriate. Oh, honey, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the honest truth. If I am ever angered enough with somebody that I'm forced to take their life, I'm going to be very public about it. Look what I did.
This is a true statement. We have had this conversation. We've actually had that conversation.
You killed him. Yes, I had a bout of temporary sanity.
Wait, don't you mean temporary insanity?
No. You heard what I said.
He would be the one.
What's wrong?
Blink twice if you need help. Yes, can't you tell I'm
She's holding me hostage.
show
What you-
feet as an SOS? Well, that means I can't ever show you feet now, Zane.
See, now you understand. I'm actually here under duress. My foot is chained to the table here. Okay, maybe not. All right. We're about to put on the heads. We'll be done with our...
I'm putting the arms and shoulders on my Craven King now. Zane says, God damn it, show feet for proof. I can take a picture of his foot for you if you like.
I'm an inappropriate you in about 2 seconds there, mister.
He's not being inappropriate. He's actually not being that bad at all.
He's spamming. Shut up. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine, Spain.
Well, yeah, because everybody else is talking oh so much. But yes. So hopefully quarantine is treating everybody well. And you're not going completely stir crazy like poor Spud was. I mean, Spud was So is he the one who who dropped the F-bomb first? Was it Mike?
No, I did. I dropped my phone before then.
Get in here so I don't get blocked. Zane, how's since you're being so chatty right now, how is quarantine and the whole virus thing? Because I know you're in California. How are things going around you? I mean, you don't have to give too specific of details because I know you don't want me to know where you live. But no, just you're okay. Things are going all right around you. You're safe, right? Because that's actually kind of our biggest concern. We do know that Mini Warmutt actually had a little bit of a scare recently. It was in a video that he did. There was he thought that he may have come in contact with the virus, but he tested negative. So yay! But you're locked down. Are you stuck at home too, Zane?
Although I will say, Winnie Mini Warmutt, if you're in here,
or if you see this later,
I did see what you did you test positive for, and let me tell you, brother, wormy.
Oh!
It literally is the line above where he says he tests positive for this, negative for that. I was like,
you know what? He's gonna do something. Yeah, no. Waiting for Texas to lock down, Dave says. Yeah, I knew California's locked down. That's why I ended up not being able to make my trip out to see my daughter for her 16th birthday or see my family, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. That just means I get to go later. I do know that my parents are in a complete lockdown, so if Mom, Dad, you actually see this later, hi, love you. Hope you guys are being safe. I doubt they will, but still. Don't.
Yeah, they're never safe.
Well, no, I meant seeing the video. And if anybody in my family sees this, please don't comment on my weight. The winter is starting to come to an end, and the flow will be going. So, bite me. Not really. That's only for my sister. She sees this. But my dad's a quadriplegic, so my mom has them completely quarantined from the rest of the world. So he will survive, which we all want him to. So yes. I know a lot of people are getting very, very, very tired of this whole thing, and I get it. I really do. For me, I'm overly cautious about this whole thing because 11 years ago they did the whole thing with swine flu, and I think I've told this story.
You didn't. You haven't actually.
Oh, I don't know. I thought I did. 11 years ago when H1N1 hit California, we lost 52 people. One of those 52 people was a 24-year-old young woman by the name of Beth. Beth got it while she was in Vegas and came home, and she was misdiagnosed. She went to see a doctor, and the doctor told her she had pneumonia. 24 hours after being told she had pneumonia, she was being rushed to the ER because she couldn't breathe. 72 hours after that, she was gone because she actually had swine flu. She was one of my best friends. So as a result, I'm a little paranoid. For anybody and everybody that I know and or care about. And I do say and or care about because there are certain things that I wouldn't even wish on my worst enemy. So, but thankfully from what I'm hearing is this at least isn't super, super bad. But when I was reading up what the symptoms were, I realized they're the exact same symptoms as what the H1N1 virus was. So, but it doesn't have as high of mortality rate as that did. But still, a 1% mortality rate is pretty bad. So here we are sitting at home, trying to protect my children, my husband, where I go to work still. And Clorox has been my friend.
Just remember, folks, when you wipe something down with disinfectant, don't wipe it off. Leave the disinfectant on there for at least 8 minutes. The thing about this whole infection is how resilient, resistant, and virulent it is. So just be smart.
Yeah. Heinrich Botha, one of our patrons, who lives in South Africa in Cape Town, he's been keeping track of it because he stays at home, and he has been monitoring the situation around the world and whatnot. And he did send some good news. Apparently, some of the countries over in Europe have actually found a very effective way of combating it. And they've also located that survivors developed antibodies in their plasma, which can be used to create a vaccine to help protect others against it in the future. But yes, I have heard that as well, Zane. I've also heard that there's a second strand out there that is much more resistant and a lot more deadly in the, when you look at it in certain ways, than the,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm sitting here still trying to I've only got like 3 pieces left for the Craven King. And then I have to build Spirit Host.
She's not looking forward to the Spirit Host.
If anybody has ever built a Spirit Host before, wish me luck. I know somebody who did build one because she plays the Night Haunted Kill Team, or not Kill Team, Warcry, and she was like, they are the fiddliest little pieces of. Oh, hey. So yes. Anyway.
And hey, if anyone has
a topic they would like us to talk about and get me to stop rambling.
I was going to say, if anyone has extra Tau torsos that you don't need, send them my way. I could use some bits because I've got a lot of extra pieces here. Because I am done.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go? I didn't think I was that fat.
What did you chop?
His arm.
Got it. Don't worry.
An Armageddon basilisk? What's
No,
that?
That wasn't it.
I'm afraid to stand up because it bounced over here and I have this feeling that's stuck in my fatty belly. There it is. I could always just turn him into the Emperor where, his left hand's fucked off.
You can have an extra arm. I have extra arms.
Here you go, Craven King. We're just gonna,
Bolt on some piece.
hope you don't mind. We're gonna kind of orcify you here. Okay, there you go, buddy.
There's supposed to be.
He fell out of his seat. It's a basilisk with a hat. Oh, that must be fun. Isn't a basilisk a type of tank?
Yes, there's. Oh, Armageddon Basilisk. The Basilisks are the anti-aircraft. Not anti-aircraft. They're the artillery pieces.
Mhm.
The Armageddon one are the solid instead of being open topped.
I'm so fat watching myself on the screen. It's awful.
Would you stop?
I can't help it. I am a woman in that regard.
You are not a woman. Stop it. She's looking at me. Stop looking at me. I don't see where this stupid piece that is supposed to go in this backpack is.
I'm messing with an arm.
I'm trying to find a number and I'm not seeing a number.
Code red. Code red. It's a trap. Mauve. Not red. Mauve. Universal color for danger. At least that's what the doctor says.
66. Oh my god, where is this stupid thing?
Yeah. So, fun lore fact for some of you guys. Did you know that the Craven King is the groom-to-be for Lady Olander? I did not know that. And apparently, he was such a bastard in life that when he died, Nagash took him moments before he was about to obtain a crown that he so desperately wanted. He murdered his brothers to become king. And then he died minutes before it was going to happen. And so Nagash made him into the Craven King. He's not actually a king, and he will never be a king. But he literally sat him on this throne and let him know that you'll never actually marry the queen, because that's what Olander is. She's an actual queen. And you will never marry her. You will never actually be a king. And his two heralds that are with him are actually two of his guys that betrayed him and he murdered. So now they're chained to the throne and they have to herald his triumphs with so much tongue-in-cheek. All hail the hallowed king, our false ruler. He's got some pretty nasty abilities, though, because we have the Night Haunt book. I was going through it because I was looking for, because I thought, it'd be kind of fun to make a couple of Stormcast that play as some type of a Night Haunt. And so I was looking through and I was reading, and so much fun.
They literally only give you one of those pieces. So even though it's designed to build 2 leaders in this box, they only give you one piece of the backpack. So I'm going to have to orcify a piece and put it on his backpack and make it look like an antenna. How about them, Tao?
I think we had a conversation about the Tau earlier today. I'm pretty sure, folks. Yeah, originally I was going to try and have us do this after I'd already primed everybody and do this whole, let's see how many Night Haunt I can get through before we stop broadcasting.
And I was like, no, just keep building.
Yeah, so that's what I ended up doing. I've only got a few more to build. And then these crazy kids will be finished. And then once these guys are done, I can start painting them, which they're going to be pretty easy, more or less, because they're going to be painted in the same scheme as Lady Olander was. For those of you who remember, my Lady Olander is painted mostly in white, very shimmery, very angelic.
Why don't you grab and show her off?
because that would involve me getting up, and I'm currently trying to hold something.
Here, Will. One of the nice things about having kids, it's like having a living remote control.
When they decide to actually listen. But so,
Bring me a soda, please, when you're way in here.
What?
Bring me a soda, please.
yeah. I decided when I went these guys that I was going to make.
Oh, you guys are still streaming.
And bring me Lady Olander from off of the
I decided
display.
because I saw Lady Olander and I thought she was just beautiful. And
This is her, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
She's so pretty.
I wanted to make her look angelic. So I did her and her two bridesmaids
Yeah.
like this. And I was really, really proud of how it all turned out. She very lovely.
I'm gonna take my mask back.
I may borrow that again.
Why?
Because it's fun. So, and then because of that, I went, okay, well, I know that in Age of Sigmar, oftentimes the different factions are reflected based on which of the realms they come from. So I decided that my squad, came from the realm of light. Thank you. No, Kaiju, don't do that. I want to see what yours would look like. I am also gonna probably end up. How in the hell do they want me to put this thing on him? But she's OP. I have to add his torso to his.
Although I do gotta say though, I really wouldn't mind seeing Kaiju's style
I can figure that out
doing
when
the
it
skating.
comes.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, never mind. I didn't think about that. I'm thinking he may have to be painted in two pieces.
That's fine. He's got a stick on his butt. You can put a stick in his butt to paint him.
Because I'm looking at this, and this is going to cover.
Where's his head?
Yeah, I haven't put it on yet. His head sits on this.
Yeah, I would say put a stick up his butt and paint him separately.
Great.
Well, that's what you get for doing these fiddly bastards.
My next army that I want to do here, I either want to do the Gits, the goblins.
She got one box right now.
Or I want to do, and I'm going to do eventually for order, I want to do the deep sea elves, but I want to paint them as tropical fish.
Really? You want to do the elves?
Yes, the deep sea ones.
I thought you wanted to do the crazy elves.
Oh, the witches?
Yeah, the Sisters of Cain. Okay.
No, I thought about doing Daughters of Cain, but I think I want to get a box of them or of some variation of them to add to my Cornate army as berserkers, because I think that would look really freaking cool. But, Will, what are you doing, you psycho child?
I'm walking.
Ooh. I can't wait to see your AdMech.
So your AdMech, are you doing your AdMech as Dark Mechanicum, or are you doing them as a regular? I mean, because I noticed.
Yep, there's another plague child. That was your plague child, Zane.
Because you're taking you off you remove the purity seals. So I mean it's cool. I hope you're doing Dark Mechanicum. Is that what you're doing? You're doing them as Dark Mechanicum? Because I mean that sounds cool as heck.
The Dark Mechanicum are the ones that follow Chaos, right?
Yeah.
And they're the ones that got a hold of an Emperor class battleship, according to text-to speech, and are playing with it in the warp.
Yeah. That's not according to text-to speech.
Well, see, that's the thing is I knew that happened in lore, that they did that. They've never actually confirmed what happened to the Emperor class battleship.
Yeah, no, they're still messing with it.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Look at this. I'm done.
Now, the question is, are you going to paint them, or are you going to start doing the one that you actually wanted to do this?
Well, I want to get these guys done first. Yes. So, and I want to cut out the stuff off the sprues. That's a lot of damn bits. I'll definitely leave that for another day. So we have a dedicated bits large container, and this orange box is for them. So that's going to be all into them.
They're color coded, so there's so we break them up according to. Bye, Richard. Thank you for sticking around.
Hey, thanks for coming by at all. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Hope to see you again on Tuesday when we do our
regular
normal
live stream. Yeah.
If not,
am I gonna paint these? No, not right now. I am in a build mode because that's what this is. This is building day. Building Sunday.
Good.
Nah, yeah, build some more. But yes, I have built my entirety, my 2 squads of firewares. One is a team of breachers, one is a team of standard firewares.
Nice. Kaiju says that they're I'm saying it for everybody else, but fine.
Okay, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That they've been stuck on a hive world, so they're going to be urban dark as they slowly descend into madness.
I'm gonna tell you, if I do this, speaking of hive worlds, when I do these guys, I want to do a set of cultists for them, just not even for playing with them, but just do a set of 10 cultists for them. I'm really thinking about using the psycho cultists that come in Blackstone Fortress, but I've also been really looking at the new corpse, the new corpse grinder gang as part of the new corpse grinder gang as part of Necromunda. I want to do them as a cultist group.
There's sugar on that, cinnamon and sugar on it. Yeah. It has a bite.
Yes, and I've seen your stuff on Instagram. I follow you.
I always appreciate you, Zane. And yes, Dave, I have seen your stuff.
All right.
I don't know if I'm following you, but hell, I'm not even sure who the hell I'm following, in all honesty, because he just kind of goes, oh, you need to follow this person, and follow this person, and follow this person.
And now we're on to the main event.
I have no idea how to make this.
Yeah, actually, Kaiju, they're brand new. The Corpse Grinder gang, they literally, they're part of the gang that works for the Hive that takes people and puts them into the processing machines to make corpse meal for the Imperium to feed the troops.
Oh, so they use the solvent green system.
Yeah, except it's called.
Do we have two?
Yeah, there should be a couple. There should be some in the cabinet. Yeah, and then use a bag of peas and carrots. So yeah, they've got new figures for them. They look really cool, and your portraits. I don't know that I have. We may have to look at those. And I can't because I can't get a second window open. So I will definitely have to look at them back. We'll get some comments about that. So when you see on Tuesday, we'll have some commentary for you. I really want to see some bigger shots of your whole Sisters of Battle army. I'll be honest. It's really funny. I really like the Sisters of Battle. I want Sisters of Battle. Yeah, that's a beautiful figure.
Consequently, it is in 3 pieces.
Oh, you're doing the upper body in 2 pieces?
Yeah, because it covers.
Oh, yeah.
it'll cover his entire front
Yeah.
and his chest piece.
Yeah.
And then if I want to get a good
Yeah.
on the,
Yeah. 3 pieces.
I have to do them in 3.
And plus, you got to finish working out the stuff you're going to put on the base.
No, I think that's pretty good.
There's a couple of them bald spots. I'd throw something on there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah, some of the new Necromunda stuff they've been doing, they've really tried to expand Necromunda, and I love the figures, but I don't know anybody that plays it. So, like, I bought 3 boxes of Escher Gang, so that we're going to turn those into the Loyal 32 to go with my Knights.
I could have sworn we bought some.
Some what?
No, we don't have
Yeah, there's multiple cans of tuna in there.
We have salmon, which is good.
I would have sworn we had tuna.
No. Ran out of the weather.
Yeah. Is that for me, Pedro, or him?
Yeah. Yeah, when she sat down, when we started the live streams, she sat down and started building them. Actually, no, because you were doing other stuff. That's literally been in an hour and a half you built him.
Cool.
She built the Into Craven King in an hour and a half. Well, you're using 2 boxes, so yes. But if we don't have any tuna, hang on. Yeah, in the time you left, in that hour and a half you were gone. Yeah, she built the entirety of the thing. I mean,
if I really wanted to, I could probably save myself a little bit of psychosis because I have these to build. Should be 2 Banshees and
Banshee 3 is up on the shelf, and Banshee 3 is in your box to build. And then those guys, I think there's an extra one of those sitting. I
thought there
stripped
was
them.
only 3 of the Myron Bounds.
There's 4. There's 4 Myron Bounds. You have one that's half built in your box of stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, hi. More shit.
Nah, I think you should build a Spirit House.
Just because you want to listen to me cuss it out.
Yep.
All right. Here we go.
All right. I'm going to step away and leave everything to Lady D for a moment because we are getting near the dinner hour, and the tuna I had thought we were making tuna casserole with, we do not have. So I have to quick source another meat. I'll be back. Lady D, the calm is yours.
All right, so
Nothing is missing.
80. Jeez. I'm heading over. Hello, everybody. It's I. All right, so yeah. Now, next up on this horrible house of horrors. Moist. All right.
Oh, I will
little
learned.
ass bastards out of my way, out of my way, out of my way.
Excuse me for my way of saying specifically.
Specifically.
That's the same way. That's where I got it from.
Specifically.
Specifically.
Sorry, Jesus, get the hell away from me.
Dad says it the same exact
Go
way.
away.
Where I got it from.
Go away.
I have my answer.
Okay. So 3 Spleroos. 3 Spleroos for 3 of these guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. So let's go. Let's see what we got here. We keep all of our instruction manuals just in case somebody needs one. Oh my gosh. Oh. So on top of this whole virus thing going around and the insanity that it is, spring has hit Wisconsin, so everything's starting to open up, which means my allergies are going freaking haywire.
Yeah, and I'll grab some.
Okay. I am going to work on. Can you bring me some tissue, please?
Yeah, there's a roll right next to you.
Oh, is there? Where?
Right next to you.
Gibby.
That too.
Okay, this is running. Excuse me.
You're not off.
I don't care. I can't see me. What the hell is that down there? Shut up. Ugh.
I found an arm.
It's a pointing one too. Point at Zane.
He's pointing. He's pointing at you, Zane. Playchild, please sit over here. It's a total pet peeve, and I love my child to death. I just cannot handle people sitting behind me.
Where are my bases? Are there no bases?
I'm gonna. I know there's.
This did not give me bases.
Are these separate?
Yes, those are separate. Okay, so
Well,
what?
at least we have basic bases.
Well, hold on. I gotta find out what kind of size bases these guys are supposed to have. Doesn't say.
I shall always ruin the fun for you, Zane, when it comes to my mother.
I really wish this would tell me what size bases. Descriptions. This thing literally does not say what size base to use. I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, fun times there. So I guess I'll just start putting the. Something tells me I'm not gonna like these things. But hey, I should have left it because it's probably one of his, and not his, but his, the man who left. But yeah. All right, let's see here. We are looking for numbers. Oh, there's 2.
I might have to look it up.
Yeah,
Let me see.
it's not like we don't have the size bases.
Yeah, we have a million bases.
Jeez, oh Pete. All right, can I have that back, please? Yeah. Yes, thank you. All right, so Spirit host is a unit of 3. A unit of 3 spirit hosts has 3 or more models. The spirit rends the souls of mortals with their spectral claws and daggers. They are flyers. Yeah. Oh, apparently you make things sad.
It's okay, Zane.
Oh, Zane! Now I know what he was talking about.
I pulled down your shirt.
Yes. Let's see. Ethereal.
That's why I said
Rightful
what I said
touch.
before. But I was thinking about with my overlord, using some of the color shifting stuff for like pauldrons or something. Like that'd be cool.
Let's start with 3 because that seems to be the hardest of them all. All right, let's see here. Don't judge
We all
you.
judge
I'm
you.
not judging. I'm just saying.
I
For
judge you.
shame. Is this mine or is that Dad's?
That's that. Where's it here?
Yeah, give me that.
I'm allowed to judge you.
See, I don't judge because the last time someone told me don't judge me, and I went, I'm judging you. Judge, 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 judge.
Judge.
And then I turned and walked into a door and gave myself a black eye.
I'm not gonna let you see my mom's light.
Could you see the underwear?
Nearly. I could see it. I could see it, and if you had bent down a little bit more, they could have. I could see the crack.
Crack kills,
I nearly said that.
as my loving elder sister likes to point out frequently to me.
And you guys say to me frequently.
Yep, where do you think I learned it? Your Aunt Rachel. Oh, yeah.
Damn it, Aunt Rachel.
She also used to call me a plumber. When I was younger, I liked to wear clothes that were, pants that were baggy because they're comfy. And every time I would bend over, obviously,
D never did answer that. No, Zane. No. That will never. I can't guarantee I will ever do that again.
I
Ever.
didn't know the stream was on.
I didn't. I swear to God, I thought that
Sure,
you
Mom.
didn't go live until it did the 3, because it was like, that we're going live and 3, 2. That's what I thought it was.
Oh,
Apparently it's not. As soon as you click go live, you are live.
yep.
I didn't know that.
You got a lot for stuff.
Dave, I have tried to wear some of my sexy gothy outfits, and D has told me no. Like when I was going to wear a see-through shirt with nothing but a bra.
See, Zane, I'm not the only one. Probably did. There probably was a slight influx.
Again, I'm not really upset about it. Whatever. Just do it.
What?
One of these days, maybe. I actually have some solo streams planned for myself.
I think eventually I'll probably see once I get stuff.
A lot of my stuff is actually going to be just me painting or drawing, because apparently people want to see me do this. So
Yeah.
hey, awesome.
Hey Zane, when I get a computer, I will start to try uploading videos.
You. I would have still subbed to you because I am shameless in ways you guys will never understand. Let's see, what am I looking for? I'm looking for 21. There it is. Oh, my sweet mother of mercy. This looks like it's going to be a nightmare. Ugh, what can I say? I like gamer boys.
Reason you vote for my dad.
No, I fell for your dad for a number of reasons, actually. Which
There's a reason.
Which none of them probably ever want to know.
You're enough in the house.
Not like that. All right, so here we go, folks. Was gone for that weekend when I did the hey, come and paint with me. I just don't know when.
Is that the one that I
Yeah, where you got thrusted into the host role and
with Jamie?
Yeah,
I was so awkward.
but people thought you were fun. I mean, Zane enjoyed it. Mike thought it was great. He said you need to relax a little bit, but it was very often. I know.
I'm not used.
Thrust. Yes, Zane, I said thrust. But yeah. So
Once I get my own computer, I probably can start doing my gaming stuff. It'll be fun.
So yeah. But yeah, no, my stuff is probably gonna be me, sitting around drawing, painting, whatever.
Well, mine's gonna be video games.
Heaven help us all. Alright, hey, look, that goes okay, so I'm supposed to
So
put
you got your time.
this on. Can you say it a few more times? What? Thrust.
It's very funny.
Hey, D's not around to make me stop.
Imagine just in the chat. Stop.
Nah, I got his phone, so I know he's not watching.
He's gonna look back and be like,
Slower. I have to say it slower this time. Okay, Zane. No. Maybe later just for you.
Mom, what?
You think this is bad? She's OP.
No, I've heard worse.
So
Dad's shameless right in front of us.
yeah, no. So one more fun thing is that my husband and I, we've been married now for almost 3 years. 3 years, actually next month, and we still flirt with each other like we're newlyweds, which drives the children crazy at times because they're just like, "Oh, will you guys stop?"
This one loves me, right?
I make random comments all the bloody time. I'm a mother and I freely enjoy embarrassing my children.
I already know. I'm saying.
I almost want to tell a story about that, but I fear that it may be too much for innocent people and minds and ears within this stream.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh no, man! No, this is actually doesn't have to do with us. Okay, I guess I will tell it. So this woman posted, I want to say it was on Instagram, how she's sitting in the other room and she's listening to her husband and her son, playing a fighting game, and they're trash talking one another. And then out of nowhere, she hears her husband turn and look at her 13-year-old son. And he goes, I slept with your mom last night, except for that's not the word he used. He used the F word. I'm not using it. He's like,
I just muttered it.
yeah, he's like, I slept with your mom last night. And her 13-year-old turns apparently to her husband and goes, I have been deeper inside her than you will ever be. And she said she was sitting there like, I don't even know how to respond to all of this.
Neither of them were incorrect either.
Yeah, and she was just like, wow. You know, that's my husband, y'all. And I'm sitting here and I'm so glad because my kids don't do the your mom jokes around me because, well,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I give as good as I get. 12-year-olds on Call of Duty, etc., etc. Basically, that's why it's not a complete horrible thing to say because, you know, unfortunately, in those shooter games, yeah, kind of a common phrase.
Yeah.
Children go to peace.
Thank you.
So, yeah. I still thought that was a great story when I read it. I was like, oh my god. Of course, I have a really dark, twisted sense of humor.
Can I have my soda back?
Yeah, give me just a second.
You don't have to move though.
Give me a second. I'm like holding a head onto a spine.
Oh,
I am, because I don't want him to fall. It's this freaking fiddly ass little spirit host.
are they fiddly? I would have never guessed looking at those screws.
Yeah, I have very dark humor also, Zane, so. Not as dark as this one over here. Cards Against Humanity, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever play Cards Against Humanity or get this man to agree to play Cards Against Humanity,
Here's
let me give you this little bit of advice.
Let me back up a sec. Let me explain something.
It's too long. Sum it up.
Daddy's belt.
Shut up.
My family first escaped from the communists after most of them were killed during the Russian Revolution. Then they escaped to Europe, where a large number of them were harmed fighting the Nazis. So my family kind of has a thing about believing in things and getting killed for it. That being said, please continue.
So yeah, if you ever get this, just to say that if you ever end up actually trying to play Cards Against Humanity against this man, any answer that you can give that has to do with Nazi jokes or Hitler, and they make sense, they're an insta win with him. However, with me, it's a little darker than that. I would like to point out the first time I ever played, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was playing with some friends, and you know, as I'm just starting to get to know these people, so you're kind of like, and it's my turn. For those of you who have never played Cards Against Humanity, Squid Boss, hi. Should I probably stop now? Because I see a very tentative hello out of Squid Boss. Maybe I'll save this story for another day.
No, it's fine. Basically, the whole thing is that
Okay, so when you play Cards Against Humanity, there are black cards and there are white cards. You draw white cards and they have something written on them, oftentimes random. Some of the first ones that come to mind, I'm pretty sure I should probably not say. Pixelized. Then the black cards are phrases or something that you have to answer or complete. Yes. So, my first time that I ever played the game, yep, bigger and blacker, which was actually kind of a letdown. There wasn't that much in there. I was kind of hoping there would be more. But anyway, the card I received was the black card that I'm reading, that I have to give out. It says, when all else fails, I can always. Okay, this is not a
stimulate myself
to blank. So everybody's giving me their cards, and they're like, this whole time I've been very quiet and I've been giving timid answers and whatnot. They send that I get my cards and I'm reading them and I'm kind of chuckling at some of them. And then I get one and I start busting up laughing. And I'm like, all right, this one's the winner. This one's the winner. And so it was, when all else fails, I can always
stimulate myself
and the card was my first kill. And that's what made me laugh. That's the one that won. Later, he had won. The black card said, Daddy, why is Mommy crying? I sent in Daddy's belt.
So, yeah.
But my favorite I ever saw, and this was somebody posted this online, I was not in the game, was the card says, and the Academy Award for blank goes to blank. The Academy Award for blank goes to blank. The winning cards, so when you read the whole thing, it said the Academy Award for licking things to show ownership of them goes to Joe Biden. I thought that was great.
I hadn't heard that one.
This is
Psycho.
I can only half assemble this vehicle because there's an open cockpit and you can't paint it once it's assembled.
My mom. I got that.
So, yes. Those are my stories involving me playing that god-awful game. 26.
I have a very sick sense of humor, and I get that, and it's just one of those.
Joe Biden memes are still the best memes.
Okay, is there anybody out there that has built a custom Booster Blaster?
I think Mike is not with us right now. I know that he has, I believe.
Because I'm just looking at this going, did they really?
Squid Boss has.
Okay, so I'm seeing this right. If this thing is assembled with the roof on, you're not going to be able to get the driver or the shotgun squig, or not squig, Gretchen in there. So you're going to have to paint them first and then only do the final assembly after that. Am I seeing that right? Because this is what it looks like.
Give him a minute to respond.
I know. I'm just making sure. Because I mean, if I got to do that, I got to do that. I had to do that with the Shock Jump Dragster, and I ended up not putting the crossbar in. I just said, screw it. It doesn't really need it.
Have I ever mentioned how much I love the Orcs naming convention? Jeez, oh Pete. I think they're just great. I mean, Flying Headbutter.
Squid Boss says that's how he did it.
Okay, that's what it looked like to me.
Thank you, Squid Boss.
Appreciate it. It's a great model. I want to build this model really badly. That's why I got it, because I love the way it looks. But can you hand me my knife?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. No, Zane. Unfortunately, we had some friends that pretty much every time we went over to their house for a party, that was all we played, especially when alcohol was involved. So he doesn't really like it.
I kind of got bored with it. I mean, after you played it like 4 or 5 times, and you play it for
In 1 month.
and you play it for hours on end.
Yeah, and the only reason you stop is because everyone's too drunk to, sit upright. So that was really amusing when we were playing it before he got there. And I had had one too many drinks. So I stood up to try and go greet him at the door because he came over to our friend's house afterwards. And I stood up and I probably sat back down.
Never mind that while this game was going on, I was called because I was working a different shift at that time because I used to work at the casino here in town.
No, this is I think when you were at Johnson Control.
No, I was at the casino because remember, I had to tell you you were not allowed to take off your jeans.
No, my shirt. You told me not to take my shirt. Okay, so full disclosure, when I get drunk, apparently my clothes offend me. And the first thing I lose is my shirt.
Why
Johnson Control, not Patrol. So he calls and I'm like, I am lit. I have enough alcohol in me to probably power a city block. And no, I cannot. And so his first thing he said was, do not take off your shirt. So everybody that I was over there playing with, his response was, you never said anything about your pants. Then my daughter called. And the entire room explodes with, don't answer that.
When we first started dating, 7 years ago?
9 almost.
No. 2012 when you came out here.
Was it 8 years ago?
Almost 8 years ago. So we would have been over there about 7 years ago when we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 7. 6 or 7.
When I was younger.
I don't drink that much anymore.
Yeah. Neither of us really do. I mean, when you see me having a drink on stream on Tuesdays, that's basically because
that's the only time he drinks, in all honesty.
I'm old and in pain, and sometimes it's better than trying to stuff a bunch of horrible drugs into my system because they just make me dumb and not. And I can take a little bit of alcohol and relieve some of the pain I'm in.
I think I'm upsetting Squid Boss.
Why?
I don't know. I think he's not finding my trail of conversation entertaining because I am just trying to get laughs. But that's okay. I don't mind. I really don't. It's just kind of all over the place. But to actually talk about gaming stuff and the stuff that I will probably be either streaming or recording and posting up as my own content soon-ish is that as soon as I'm done building my night haunt, I'll be able to start putting together my display board, as I said, and a lot of it's going to be scatter terrain pieces that I can add to it. Makes it much easier for rotation and breakdown and storage. Beep. So I will probably do that because one of the things I'm doing is I'm going to do a light up rune dais for like a temple using pink foam, Mod Podge, tracing paper, and tea lights. We have a lot of them. We bought this really cool box because if you go back in his history of his videos, he had a dwarven rune forge that he made using a similar thing, which I'm going to use a similar process on how he did it to make mine so that I can get the effect that I'm looking for. That way, once I do my, get everything all set up, it's going to look pretty cool because I'll be able to light it up. I think
I'm doing a Mech Boy workshop.
Oh, that's right, your orkies.
Yes, if everything goes right, and I can get enough of my orcs done, I'm going to be doing my orcs. I'm going to be doing a scrapyard, an orc scrapyard, Armies on Parade this year.
Anybody else got any plans for Armies on Parade that they are willing to share with the rest of us? Ooh, apparently, okay, there we go. We had a bit of an unstable connection there for a moment. Thank you. Thank you, Mythos. But yes. What about anybody else? Is anybody else going to try and do Armies on Parade? Because I know we can't do Golden Demon this year because, unfortunately, Adepticon did get canceled. So I know that Plague Child says that they want to try and do something for Armies on Parade. They're just not entirely sure.
I think I know what.
Trying to do Tomb World, from what I understood last time we talked about it.
You should talk with
Where Necrons are from.
Well, I was thinking about that, or like my like.
Ooh, that would be fun, Dave.
Icy, snowy, like tundra thing, like
Okay.
desert, like the one I have their bases as.
Yeah.
Well, that could be
Yeah,
a
it's
Tomb
kind of
World.
almost deserted.
You want to know that there's a rumor?
Icy Tomb World.
Actually, there's a Tomb World that is rumored in the games that they haven't been able to get near, but they want it. Chigoris, the home planet of the White Scars.
Oh yeah.
There is talk, apparently, in one of the books, if I am remembering correctly, where a Necron ship actually entered orbit and opened fire on the planet. However, it didn't fire on any areas that were populated. It was firing in an area that was empty. And that's why people believe that.
There's an unwoke Tomb World.
Yeah, which means if that's the case, then, well, they may want to relocate.
Maybe that's where the Silent King is.
Oh, that would be scary. Think about that. Dude, wouldn't that be crazy if the Silent King was actually on Chigoris? Ugh.
Well,
We get to see some really cool stuff because Heinrich Botha, who I've been talking about, he plays Necrons, and he's actually currently doing a Silent King.
He's doing a kit bash for the Silent King, and he's using the Chaos big guy half of Sithris, the twin demon prince thing from Slaanesh. It's got
the bottom of the allegiance.
Yeah, that's who that is. It's the bottom half of the allegiance. That's who that figure is.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oy. Oh man, this is so not at all fun. Trying to. What the hex?
I'm scared this is gonna boil over.
Okay, so if this goes like.
So you're gonna need to sit on it and stir it. You need to.
That's why I'm not going back to my games.
This piece goes like this, and this is. Heinrich does do, and he's very meticulous, so it's a lot of fun to get to see as he's doing his stuff. And those of us who are in Discord, not that I'm trying to push, we get to see a lot of the really cool stuff that he comes up with. So yeah,
like the axe of hers that she drew.
Oh my freaking god!
That he rendered and now is out on Thingiverse.
It's not on Thingiverse.
Well, whatever. Okay, whatever. It's somewhere out on the internet. There's a link to it earlier up in the stream. So you got a 3D printer. Heinrich Botha, one of my patrons, has it out there.
Yes. And then Zane went and actually did a rendering of a wolf. It's on Cults 3D.
Stop calling it Thingiverse.
Okay, then the thing Zane did was on Thingiverse because I saw something on Thingiverse.
No,
earlier.
he just posted something about Thingiverse. Oh, excuse me. Zane's got oh my goodness, created a file with excuse me. I need to hold my breath for a minute. I have really bad hiccups in my mouth.
So Zane created something that a Marine using that file and using some other pieces that he got from Thingiverse to make a really cool Marine. Really cool.
My axe. Which technically isn't my axe, it actually is Hellchild's axe because I created it specifically for him for a custom picture that he's doing of his particular wolf that he has. He has a unique group chapter.
Yeah.
Known as the Stalker, the Eclipse Stalkers. And I am doing a piece for him at the moment with them looking down, with his particular guy looking down after an attack has come and gone. So it's a pretty cool picture as it's coming along, and I'm really proud of how it's turning out. There we go. Zane says it's his now. Can I at least get a little bit of credit to say, you know, hey, Axe was designed by Lady Dragon 28? That's all I ask. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to create the models or the stuff like that.
I'm trying to load a liquid, but it's good now.
So I can create and be able to creating a wolf chapter, which hunts down rogue chapters. Ooh, that would be cool, man. I can't wait to see how that looks.
Who's doing that?
Zane is. But
What was that about getting infected? That sounds like the wolves are infecting you, my friend. La 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 la.
no one else gets that puzzle. I don't know. Hellchild was asking if he could get that file. I want to be able to make help design that way for each of us who have our own custom chapters and stuff like that, where instead of, you know, having to, you know, kit bash up the wazoo, you could have that custom head, you know, the custom, you know, markings on the armor or something that's very specifically yours.
Print out a bunch of strippers.
Somebody actually already did that.
Yeah, it's already out there.
Yeah, that's not completely new, my love.
No, but the funny thing is, I don't imagine being able to make. I mean, this is what 3D printing allows you to do. If you had a photo of yourself, get it rendered into a head.
There's actually a website that'll do that for you.
Yeah. Well, I know because recently, Squidmarth did a he did a custom figure that custom bust he painted of the annoying guy on the internet, the one that the annoying YouTuber was the one that was competing with the Indian channel to be the most subscribed channel in the world. PewDiePie, that's it.
Oh, that jackwagon.
Yeah.
Dave wants his head on a model. I will have to look.
Let me ask you, Dave. Are you going to be a sister superior? Well, he's doing sisters in battle. It's funny.
It doesn't let you make your own stuff, but it lets you kit bash pre-existing. Okay, so there is an ID Maker 3D, which allows you to kit bash, from what Zane was saying, and create a model for yourself, create a file for your own model. That's pretty freaking cool. That would help bringing, you know, pricing on kit bashing down like massively. And Dave says no, it is for his salamanders army. And Inquisitor Zane called PewDiePie Poodle Pie. PewDiePie. Sorry. Jackass.
PewDiePie, whatever. It's an army of 12-year-olds. I don't know.
Ugh. Look at this. Look at this. I do not know what size base this thing. Okay, has anybody built a spirit host by
Yeah,
any chance?
There's the bases are in the box.
No, they're not.
They were.
They weren't. They're not anymore. So you only have 2 left. Can I have one of mine? Cookie. Yeah, they're none in the box.
I put them back in there.
They're much used. Yeah. No, my kids like most of my kids like
Yeah.
Markiplier.
I like Markiplier.
Mom, my mom called me out for having a crush on it. So.
I don't mind Markiplier. I mean,
Jacksepticeye is funny too. Him and Mark are friggin' hilarious. But no, love, I can't. For whatever reason, I cannot find the bases.
Where's the box?
It's up there. Yeah, and I pulled everything out.
Weird.
There's that thing over there. I don't know if it's by chance in there, but those I don't think are it. I think those are.
Yeah, those are my extra bases. Huh. I'll look it up. Weird.
Well, if by chance anybody in chat has ever put together one of these, and you happen to know off the top of your head what size their bases are, because I don't know. Ah! It fell over. 25. There it is. I love watching Markiplier's try not to laugh, personally. Especially when somebody sends him something that's really stupid and he just kind of sits there like, what was that? Tell me you're using a new tab.
Just open up your browser and start typing.
I think he is. I'm not actually sure. Holy crap, I need to put on more lipstick. My lipstick goes away fast. But yes. So, not. Oh, that would be. That's actually kind of interesting. I would not know that he was into that. My mom made me promise not to introduce my youngest to Warhammer yet, because she's still on this. My youngest is still on this Doctor Who kick, and she loves Five Nights at Freddy's and all this other stuff. And yeah, my mom's like, I can't afford to get her into I can't afford for her to be in another hobby right now because she's in D&D. Good girl.
50 milliliter.
It's a 50.
Yep.
Do we have any 50s?
Of course we do.
Okay, because he's supposed to be going on a base after this.
No.
Yes, Five Nights at Freddy's still is a thing. And my 16-year-old still thinks it's awesome. Not nearly as much as she thinks that Team Fortress is apparently amusing. Unfortunately, I'm old. I don't really get it.
I don't get it either. Ray gets it, I don't.
Of course, then again, Ray likes JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. That scares me. Of course, I would also like to point out that my 16-year-old 5 years ago thought that Slender Man was real and he was coming for her. She thought he was gonna come for her. She, if you can't tell, my youngest has a very active imagination.
You got 3 of them there, right?
Yeah, there's 3 posts. Yay! I have bases now!
Okay.
Oy. Okay, let's see. This goes on the down slope one, and this is on the up slope one. Jeez. I think they could have made this just a little bit more ads on me. But anyway, that's, I'm pretty sure. How in the hell does this thing go on? Where's Tina when I need her? Here it is. There it is. Ah. Aha! Now, the game that I want to play, but I don't own the system for right now, is I really want to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Mostly because I really want to do the cross-dressing scene. Oh my gosh. But, sorry, getting a little bit...
Well, if you ever want to swap, I'll come back.
Shit. Missed a spur point on this guy.
I'll get to him.
I will let it be known that the only reason I have Spirit House is because they were allowed in Warcry. But now I need to use them for...
They look awesome. They're awesome looking figures. They're good figures.
They're apparently musty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I ran from one. The one time I played Warcry, which I enjoyed the hell out of, by the way, I had to fight somebody, and the object of the fight was for me to get off the board, away from them.
No, out, dog.
No. She didn't think that was... Wrongly enough, my kid did not think that was a viable answer.
That's fine.
Sacrificing somebody to appease Slender Man.
No.
No. She was like, well, why would that work? That's stupid. Of course, then again, I would like to point out to you guys that she is the child that at the age of 5, I lost a am not R2 argument with in the middle of Walmart.
Bro, Slenderman doesn't go after kids.
Okay.
He goes after
Can we
adults.
not?
Yeah, okay, we're not.
There it is.
So, yes.
No, the fact that you had an am not R2 argument.
It started off as a joke. And it kind of went from there. And how I almost lost was when I pulled the, well, I'm the mom and I say so. She turned, looked at me, stomped her little foot, and went, well, I'm the kid. And I said, and I'm just like, holy shit, the sass is real with this one.
Okay, dinner's done.
Woo! Thank you.
Besides the veggies.
You were supposed to stick them in. with
Yeah,
food.
take the veggies, mix them in.
And then put the cap on. I knew an adult who was terrified of that stupid phone game when it first came. Slenderman, I didn't even know it was a game. The only reason I was even aware of any of it was because Team 4 Star did a Let's Play where Krillin was playing through the Slender game. And it was just very amusing. Oh, this is a flashback. I don't think I can pick it up. Oh my god, pick it up. But yeah.
Want a do-si-do?
Sure.
If you don't have to.
Oh, I'm just sure. let me put this part on first.
All right.
'Cause
Well, actually, we're coming up on.
we just passed the 3 hour.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Our dinner's ready. Family needs to eat dinner. So I think this is actually a good point. I think we've had a good run. We've got a lot done. I got an entire unit of Tau done. You got the Craven King, a bunch of other figures, and you're now
Eat
working.
here, stay with us.
Hey, we don't have enough food for a month.
No, we're not doing any buffing. So
I don't know.
that being said, thank you so much for coming by. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. Lady Dragon 28 on Instagram, Gamecraft Dragon on Instagram. Plague Child on Instagram. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you haven't rung that bell, ring that bell. So you'll know about when we do these crazy, got nothing better to do, and jumped on and decided to have some fun with our fans. We will be back on Tuesday for our regular Taco Tuesday talk and build and whatever we're doing that day, where I will no doubtedly rant some more about the awful Wolf Orc Prophecy of the Wolf Box.
Zane, you can like that other girl, but don't you dare touch her because that is my niece, and that's Commodore's girl. Mini Warmutt!
Oh my gosh, Mormut, we've been talking about you all day long, and now you finally show up.
Well, oh darn, looks like we may have to go for a little bit longer just so we can keep him entertained.
Well, we got
A little bit, just a little bit. The food is not fully done yet, so you guys have time.
This is what we do, folks. This is what we do. We're done. We're going out. We're leaving. Now we must stay longer. All right, I'm just building an orc vehicle, so we'll
Never mind.
yeah, we love you. We love all you guys. So yeah, hit up our Facebooks, hit up our Instagrams. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. People know me there. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit us all up on Instagram. We'll be back Tuesday. We're going to talk about Legacy of the Wolf and anything else that we've got, especially with more content of what's being released this coming week. And next week, Sunday, we should have a new video. I did my build for the Shock Jump Dragster, and I filmed because there's actually some complicated points with that model. So I wanted to talk about that. Other than that, peace, love, and joy. Remember, your minis are your minis. Compare them to yours, no one else's. Much love for the Big E.